Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the festivities, the live stream today. We are going to be going for 8 hours with one little half-hour break there in between. My name is Jay Edgar, and we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about here. And later on, we are going to transition to be DLive exclusive later on tonight, so we don't get popped by YouTube for the things that YouTube likes to pop people for. A little bit of selling the wares here before we get started too much. We'll get rid of some of this intro music here as we get started, because it's just a little bit loud in my ears here, even though I turned it down for you guys. Alright, there is that there, the wonderful tunes of David Wise, the composer for the entire Donkey Kong Country series. And I figure, with everything that we've got going on today, Fear Factory would be the most appropriate thing to listen to as we're starting this, because a lot of people are scared right now on both sides. I am definitely feeling a little bit nervous off of this. I am not going to lie. By any stretch of the imagination, I am not going to lie, because I know full well that there is a decent chance that if Joe and Kamala win sometime within the next 12 months, the golden EVP microphone goes away. I'm not ready to do that for you. Now, of course, I can always take the time here and just switch out to video game content because I enjoy that just as much here. But I would love to sit back and tell you all about how the government works. And that is something that I very much have enjoyed doing for the last couple of years. And I can't imagine it's still flying if Joe and Kamala win and Kamala becomes the president of the United States. I cannot imagine she's going to like it very much at all if I'm calling her out on every little bullshit thing that she does along the way, because I know that I'm going to be calling her out on every little bullshit thing that she does along the way. I have got some guests lined up for the day. I've got some confirmed. I've got some possibles. I've got some maybes. So we may see a few people moving along throughout the day here. I know that I've got a confirmation from Mr. Behavior, Chris Lokes, and all of his glory. He's going to be coming in and talking a little bit about what's going on over on the West Coast. One of the last ones to bring in any of the election results. So we're looking forward to that. Both of the Generational Gap guys are probably going to be in here, but at different times. I know John's probably going to be here in the early segment, and Robert's going to pop in probably while we're watching the election results roll in, which will be after 8 o'clock. So a little bit of format change for this. Usually I will go to all the platforms throughout the entire stream. That is not going to happen today. Today we're going to go from, and this is all in Central Time, 4 p.m. until 7:30 p.m. And then I'm going to take a break and I'm going to eat something. I'm going to probably, at the end of the segment, I'm probably just going to go and grab a little bit of a Eat Street to have it delivered here around 7:30 my time. And you guys might even get to watch me make the order, because that's just the kind of person that I am. So we could possibly do that. And then at 8 o'clock, Central Time, of course, we're going to come back. But we're not going to come back to YouTube, because I'm going to be watching the Young Turks. I'm going to be watching CNBC. I'm going to be watching all the mainstream news networks up on screen with you guys. And I got this feeling Wojcicki is going to pop me for that and shut the stream down. So we're not going to give her anything off of this, because I know that once they pop you, you're done streaming for a week, if that. So, and there's nobody there to appeal to, so we're just going to take the cautious road on that, and we're going to go DLive exclusive for the last part of this here. We are streaming live right now to YouTube, DLive, Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook. But if you're over on Facebook, into one of the links above you for either the YouTube, the DLive, or the Twitch, and then get into the live chat so we can talk with you here. We are also taking calls the entire show. So I've got the Discord set up here, and I will be watching that as well. If you want to get into the show, get into the channel marked Pick Me, Pick Me. And if you're not in the Discord, my wonderful mods will be taking the time and putting the Discord link in there for you from time to time. Keep in mind that if one mod from one channel puts it in, they can't see it in the other one. So let's make sure that we get some links in there. Everybody can, but make sure you get into the Discord, or the link is in the description below or above you, depending on the platform, where you can come in and join the Discord and get in and get your calls heard as well. If you are on mobile, sometimes there's difficulty pulling you into the live room. So something else to keep in mind as we go along. I don't want to have any difficulty with that, but I will be watching the Pick Me channel. And make sure you get into the waiting room right away if you want to get on, because then I can pull you in and get you in and get you up on the air. Got some other guests that'll be popping on later. They will be video talking with us, so that'll be a little bit of fun and nice to see as well. Looking forward to that. Great people here. Great people are going to be coming and joining us here today. Let's see who we've got watching live right now. Pull the live chat up over here. We have got Saint Actual with the stickers, with the guns. Look at the rabbits, Joe. Look at the rabbits, indeed. I'll be talking just a little bit about some of the stuff that I'm seeing up along here. He's got the American flag up here. Ron Helton's got the AOC sticker, as usual. That's what he loves to lead with, and that's what we love to see as well. Yamafago says, yo. Ron Helton says, hi, John. Saint and the rest of the Boogaloo gang. Yeah, that is one possibility for the end of the night that I'm not necessarily looking forward to, but I know that it is indeed a possibility, so we'll talk a bit about that. John says, boo, Central Time. Yeah, bullshit. And we've got Blind Fear over there on the YouTube as well. Hi, how we doing? Make sure you guys all get in the Discord and get ready to have your calls taken, because definitely looking forward to some of that there. So we got a couple messages up here over that. All right, we might have ourselves a silent caster a little bit later. So yeah, definitely some good people will be popping in here. I'm going to try and keep my guest appearances to about a half an hour at a time. And we may share some memes out as well, because there's some memes that are going on as well. I've got the meme competition. We'll see if we can pull up the Discord and see some of these spicy ass memes. Some of the ones that I can put on YouTube, and to hell with it. We'll even put up some of the ones that I probably can't put on there. So Midget and S8, if you're hearing this and you're out there, do your worst. Let's see what you've got in there, because we want to get some time and get some entertainment up here too. We're going to take some time, talk about some serious stuff. We're going to do some entertaining stuff, have some conversations, meet some good people, enjoy everything, because we've got to enjoy it. We've got to take some time and enjoy everything, because today is going to be a shit show, especially as we go along. No matter who wins, somebody's going to be pissed off about it, no matter who wins. I've heard people say, just in general passing, I've heard people say that if Biden wins and they kick Trump out, that they're going to riot in the streets. Now, for right-wingers, I don't know how much accuracy that has, because for the most part they don't do that. But I know there are some fuckers out there that are crazy enough to do it as well. So definitely some stuff to be watching. Saint says Mountain Standard Time is the best time. Yeah, I'm a Central Time kind of guy. And plus, I think Saint grew up in an area where the time zone shifts depending on whether or not you are in Daylight Savings Time. Because if I remember correctly, from the time that I was out in Arizona, when Daylight Savings Time is on, you're in Pacific Time. And when it's off, you are in Mountain Time. If I remember my geography correctly. Don't quote me on that, because I don't know. But if I remember my geography correctly, that is how that goes. Get the waiting room in here so I can see if somebody pops in here, because I'll be taking the video and the VIP guests over on Zoom. Excited to see that. Excited to see what we've got going on here. So how's everybody doing today? Did everybody go and vote? Did you vote? How hard did you vote? Did you tear the paper when you voted? Imagine voting. Imagine voting. It's a great thing, but you know, at some point we need to do it. And I did come out and say that I was going to endorse Trump. That was a hard decision, and even looking at the ballot, I started having second thoughts, because the Patriot Act started showing up in my mind. I started rereading what the Patriot Act was, what the renewal was, and what actually was out there. And then I started to remember the omnibus spending and the other spending. What else did we have? The stimulus package, the next one that they want to put out there, and all the spending here and there. I remember all of that. And it was very, very hard for me to look down at that paper and see the name Donald J. Trump and Michael Pence together and say, do I really want to fill in that bubble? I can say that there were 2 referenda on my particular ballot based on schools in the area that were very, very easy for me to say fuck no to. I almost wrote back in and said fuck no on the ballot, because that's how strongly I felt about that. One of our local school districts and the technical college in the area were both asked the referendum was asking if both of them should be allowed to go beyond their budgetary limitations that were put out in the Wisconsin state law budget. And I said no, because that is stealing from the taxpayers, whether it's through the debt, the state debt to the federal government, or just what you're going to assess in taxes in and of itself, what you're going to assess in property taxes. Fuck no. Stop spending money. The government needs to stop spending money. That is something that we need to do and something that we need to watch for, because they have been doing it for too long and they're way too comfortable with spending money. Way too fucking comfortable with spending money. So definitely some stuff to watch there. And hopefully you guys had some referenda. That's the other thing I want to see. If you guys either come into the live chat or into the voice chat for the call-ins, I want to see what some of the referenda were that you guys had to look at and what some of the things were that you had to go and vote on. Who your districts were. How many of your districts were, how many of your local races were running unopposed? Because almost everything on my ballot was running unopposed, and they were all Democrats. Surprise, surprise. So, and I want to see what you guys had. How many people were running unopposed on your ballot? Who did you get to vote for? Who was on your ballot for presidency? Because I know I'm going to have people in here from all states all around the country. So I'm kind of curious as to see who it was else that you got to vote for. Looks like BitChute is having some issues here. Let's see what they've got going on over there. Let me double check and see what my scene is to do that. I think it's this. Yep, it's this one. So we're going to pop in over and see what we've got here. Sorry, I got to move a couple things here because I've only got two screens. I'm to the point here where I think the two screens over here. So S8 put this up in the Discord here in the meme competition, losing out on some stuff, which is probably going to make Styx a little bit unhappy because he makes an exclusive video to BitChute every day. By the way, thanks everybody who's going to be standing by and watching today, because I know that there are other options out there, and I very much appreciate the fact that you're hanging out here with me today. I very much appreciate that. Because I know Styx is going to be streaming later on here. I know the R-rated conservative. I don't think anybody else. No, Wyatt is. I think Wyatt and I and Steven are the only ones from the Freedom Scoop. Nope, Freckles and Britt are doing it too. Never mind. Almost everybody on the Freedom Scoop network is streaming out tonight. So I know you've got options. I know everybody who has a streaming platform is going to be streaming tonight, and I very much appreciate that you guys are coming and hanging out with me. That's really, really awesome of you guys. Let's see. Let's pop that back over here. All right, so that is what we saw from there. Let's see what you guys are saying up in the chat. Yamafago says EST gang, bruh. I lived in EST for a couple of years, and it always felt just a little bit off to me to live in Eastern Standard Time. It was always just a little bit off. So, I don't know. Maybe it works for some people. It never really worked for me. Let's see. Who else do we have up here? Saint says, we do not have daylight savings. We remain in Mountain Standard Time. But what about when Mountain Standard Time switches? That's what I'm curious about, wondering what's going on with that. Yamafago says, ooh, I vooed it so hard. I vooed it all over the booth. I think we've got a meme over in the meme competition about that too. Let me catch up with the chat and we'll look at that. Saint vooted very softly. Yama says, a romantic vooter. I prefer rough vooting. Grant is in the chat here. That's a new name over here. Says, how does it feel in the Midwest? Who do you think Minnesota and Wisconsin are going to vote for? Minnesota, I think, is in play. I really do. Because I think a lot of people are pissed off by what the progressive movement did to Minneapolis and the fact that they put Ilhan Omar in. And now, that's something to keep in mind, too, with the celebrity status of the squad. Especially in a place like Minnesota. Like, obviously, with New York and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she comes out and constantly says, I'm from the Bronx. I'm a representative of the Bronx, and I'm Alex from the Bronx. I'm Alex from the block. That's all that I am all the time. Whereas, what do you hear about Ilhan Omar? Minnesota Representative Ilhan Omar. MN5 Ilhan Omar. Minnesota. You never hear Minneapolis representative for her. So a lot of people all the way across the rest of the country think that Ilhan Omar is representing the entire state. No, I know that she's not, but I also know what the comparison is. They keep saying that she's representing the entire state. Minnesota 5, Minnesota 5, Minnesota representative, Minnesota, Minnesota. It's all Minnesota all over the place with her. And I think that some of the rural counties are going to get out there and vote twice as hard. They're going to vote all over the booth like Yama Fago did to try and get that progressive movement up out of there. So, yeah, absolutely. I think that Minnesota is in play. I don't know which way it's going to go because there's a lot of influence from the Twin Cities, but also keep in mind that the Twin Cities watched BLM go and burn their cities down, both Minneapolis and St. Paul, and then the two people at the top of the ticket on the Democratic side pay their bail funds to get the people that were burning them back out so they could go out and do it again. There's a lot of stuff in play, and there's a lot of stuff to keep in mind and keep talking about when it comes to Minnesota. Minnesota is going to be a very, very hard race to call, and I don't know if we're going to know that tonight. But that would be amazing to see because, what is it? Minnesota hasn't gone red since Nixon. And I think it was Nixon 1, not Nixon 2. I think. I don't know for sure. I would have to go double check that. Let's go use up the Google machine. Let's do what Cenk Uygur always says. Google it! Google it! Last time Minnesota went red. Survey says until the 2016 presidential election, this was the last time the state was more Republican than the national average. This was also the last time Swift County voted Republican until 2016. On March 18, 1952, Minnesota held a presidential primary for the first time since 1916. No, that's not what I want to see. Let's see. Let's use the same thing that everybody else uses for term papers. Wikipedia, they'll tell me. 2020 to be determined. 2016, they went blue. Yep, 1972, so it was Nixon 2. 1972 was the last time Minnesota broke for a Republican. And I think it's in play right now because, and a lot of people, this is a single issue vote thing. I know Poole, that was one of his big hard-ons. That's one of the things that he beat off on so much on his solo videos. And I've never really watched IRL, so I can't tell you what he does in IRL, but he beats off constantly over the fact that I'm a single issue voter now. And it's the riots. It's the riots. That's the only thing that I'm voting on right now is the riots. So yeah, 72, 56, 52, and then all the way back to 28. Otherwise, you just see a solid wall of blue for Minnesota in the presidential election. So that's a good question. Thanks, thanks, Grant. As far as Wisconsin goes, I can't trust anything that comes out of Wisconsin at this point because, at this point with Wisconsin, I've seen election after election where mysterious boxes of ballots just show up at the very last second and are suddenly for Democrats. Looks like I might have a caller in here for the day. Saint is in here, ready to go pick me. And Company Man is razzing him already. But looks like we're going to pull Saint in here and see what he's got to say. Here, let me pop the volume up and let's have a listen to Saint. Am I in the... No, I got to get in the call-in room too, don't I? No, this one. Saint, you're on the air. Saint?
Hello?
Saint, you're on the air. You're a little bit quiet. I can't really hear you much, but
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now. What's up? How you feeling today? Did you vote?
Hello?
Apparently, you can hear me, but I can hear you, but you can't hear me.
I can hear you now.
Okay, there we go.
Just real quick, I'm trying to set it straight here, man. So, daylight savings time, just real quick. All right, and then I'm going to talk about the election. But daylight savings time, real quick. When everyone sets their clocks forward for daylight savings time, Pacific moves their clocks forward to match us, which is MST, and then all the other mountain states, they move to daylight or Mountain Daylight Time, and we remain Mountain Standard Time.
Okay. It's
So
confusing because I
that's
know
it.
that Arizona doesn't observe daylight savings time, so it does change with
Yes,
as it goes along.
we do what the rest of the country should do.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Uh,
Although I seem a little
anyway,
bit
but
wired.
I'm
Go ahead.
anyway with the election is I have to share your nervousness. Is I have a pretty good idea that, or I think that Trump will win this, but I'm kind of tempering my expectations here, and I'm you know I'm not saying that he's going to win for sure.
Okay. Did you vote? Woof.
But other than that, man, I mean, it's all we can do is watch at this point. So anybody who's out there is nervous. I mean, take this with a grain of salt. Just you're just gonna have to wait and see. That's all we're gonna be able to do.
Did you vote? Did you do your civic duty and vote all over the place?
Yeah, I had to vote absentee though. So
Yeah, with what you do for a living, I could see that possibly. Um, do you want to share who you voted for? Obviously, I can't compel you to because that's against federal law. But if you're
I
willing to
mean,
share,
anybody who knows me in the channel knows exactly who I voted for.
okay,
So I'll leave it at
that's
that. They know exactly who I voted for.
that's fair. Yeah, I'm
But
pretty sure that I voted the same way as you did too. But I had to be drug kicking and screaming to get there because I mean, I saw the spending and I don't want to. I don't want to be a Trump supporter if he's going to spend money like that. But the left has lost their ever loving fucking minds.
oh yeah, yeah, and bottom line is like I could never vote for a leftist candidate in the first place. If they had actually put up a decent libertarian candidate, then maybe I would have been able to do it, but they didn't. So here I am.
Yeah, and I know there have been some conversations that go along with that as well, talking about the Libertarian candidate. I know that I've had discussions about that off air. I've been very nice about not doing that on either on air or on Twitter or anything because I don't want my co host to lose her very well paying job because of something I said. I would feel terrible if that ever happened. So I've
Yeah,
tempered what I have to say about Joe.
yeah, and like I said, if they had actually been, the thing is that Arizona does have some good showings for libertarian candidates
Hmm.
this time around. I think a couple city council seats were libertarian candidates, and then a couple county supervisor seats were libertarian, and then I think we had I think it was a couple state senate seats that were also libertarian in Arizona. So uh, there was a pretty decent showing for the libertarian candidates, and most of the candidates that I looked at looked like pretty solid people.
Yeah, I know that looking down for me and looking down ballot in my district, um, we pretty much I had the presidential candidate and the U.S. Representative candidate, Brian Style for my district, were the only things that weren't Democrat. All the rest of the down ballot stuff, which was, I think it was county commissioner, county clerk, and then I think there was something on the city too. I'd have to go back and look again. We're all Democrats
Yeah,
and running
yeah, and
unopposed.
that's yeah, and that's the way it's been in Tucson for a while. Is that there haven't hasn't been really a good Republican or other candidate to put up against any of the Democrats that come to run for mayor or for city council. This year there have been some good candidates that they put up. Do I think they're going to win in Tucson for those local seats? No, I don't think so. But it it is what it is. All you can do is continue to try and vote for them and get them into office.
Well, one of the things that I want to do on this segment while I'm talking to people is not only the people that we're electing in, but the referenda that are going up there. Were there any referenda on your ballot?
So there's a returning one. This one returns pretty much every single election cycle. Is a proposition for property tax increase for the education system.
Okay.
And that one it got voted up once, and then people hated how much the property tax went up, and it hasn't been voted in for the last, I want to say, 3 or 4 years.
Okay.
So that one, I saw that one come in again, and that one got shit canned. I voted that one down, just because there's no point to it.
Okay.
Our education system hasn't really gotten much better, or didn't really get much better. Didn't really get much funding when the property taxes got increased the first time people voted for it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. And like I said, my the referenda on mine, and I mentioned this up at the top of this when I was talking about it. Both of them were whether the school district in the town that I live in, that I will not name right now because it's so small, but the school district and then the technical college for Rock County, which that's Blackhawk. That's everybody knows that's Blackhawk. But both Blackhawk and my local school district were looking to see if they could go above their budgetary allotment by the voters, and I said, hell no. You're either going to steal it from state debt to the federal government, or you're going to steal it from the taxpayers by reassessing their property taxes, and I will not vote for an increase in either of those.
Yeah, exactly. And that was pretty much the way it was. Or what this is it's just a property tax increase to pay for the education system, pay into the education system. And the education system hasn't really gotten any better, So regardless.
Well,
so
I think that eliminating Betsy DeVos's position is going to go leaps and bounds to fix some of that.
Oh yeah, of course. Federal mandates for education shouldn't even exist. That's definitely a 10th Amendment issue.
And it's a W issue too. Part of the other reason that I hate that whiny voiced little southern fucker.
Yeah.
Because he did a lot of that. I mean, that goes back even though to Clinton too. With I know it wasn't No Child Left Behind. That was Bush's baby, but there was another one of a similar name that came before that, and it was the same idea.
Wasn't it the Head Start initiative?
I believe that it was the Head Start initiative. That's correct.
Yeah.
So
that's both of those initiatives. They didn't do anything for the education system. They just threw a wrench into the works. So.
Well, I mean, the federal government is good at that, throwing the wrench into the works. It's one of the things that they love to do more than anything else, is throw a great big wrench into the works.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movie quotes of all time. Comes from one of the greatest B movie trilogies of all time. Comes from Tremors 3. An FBI agent asks the great, for anybody who knows this, asks the great Burt Gummer what he should do. And Burt looks at him and says, "Do what you do best. Find something simple and complicate it."
Yeah, that sounds about like the government. All right, man.
Anyway, I'll let you get back to your show, man. It has been fun talking to you.
Yeah, do you want to plug anything before you pop on out of here?
Just an update for anybody who saw that I am teasing a possible show.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not going to happen until next year.
Okay.
Keep an eye out for it. That's going to be under the title The Late Night Losers, probably on YouTube, and I'll probably be on DLive and all that stuff too as well. So just keep an eye out for it, and I'll let everybody know when that's going to happen.
All right, then we will see you in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah. Later.
All right, that was Saint. So thanks to Saint for coming in here and talking about this here. Looks like they're talking a little bit more about BitChute, and apparently Gab is out too, according to Midget B over in the Discord. So maybe we'll talk a little bit about that coming up later on today. Let's get caught up with the chat here. I know we got a little bit distracted by the caller popping in here, which is always good because we like to have callers in here. So let's see. Well, we were talking about Wisconsin, and I was talking about the fact that in the gubernatorial race and then in the Supreme Court race, there was some fuckery afoot. Now, I do have to fact check myself because I was wrong about the Supreme Court race. But I know with the gubernatorial race, throughout the day, Scott Walker and Tony Evers were running within 1 percentage point of each other. And then at the very last second, at 1 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, of course, because that is the only real time zone, a box of ballots was found with a gluing error, and about 3,000 ballots popped through for Tony Evers, bringing him outside of 1% of the vote. I have no faith that Wisconsin could break for Trump right now, because I'm sure that they've got some trickery and fuckery afoot to make sure that it doesn't happen. So that's how I feel about the presidency, and I'm almost afraid to see, well, not really, because Brian Style doesn't really do anything, but I'm almost afraid to see that my state rep is probably going to go the other direction too. But we will see what happens. We'll be watching for that as well. Let's keep going up here. Grant says BitChute is down. Grant says one of their providers has deplatformed them, so we'll see what happens with that. I know it's going to piss a lot of people off if that happens. Saint says BitChute got shit canned, and YouTube decided to axe any political advertising today. Well, we'll see how long my show lasts. I'm monitoring on YouTube right now, but they could pull me down at any second, absolutely. Let's see, who else do we have here? Grant says, I live in Nevada. We get to vote on a ton of judges. They don't give you party affiliation. Many run unopposed. Some are endorsed by both parties. Well, the judicial branch and the judiciary probably shouldn't be partisan. And I don't like the fact that they are. That is part of the reason that I enjoy the Supreme Court nomination process, that a governor nominates and then the Senate decides. So the party affiliation only goes with the presidency and the Senate, whether they're gridlocked or whether they're up together. And before the filibuster got axed, they all had to work together on that too. So I enjoy that. I hate the fact that judges could be partisan. And they marked on the ballot that Dan Kelly and Jill Karofsky were both nonpartisan, but they were both partisan. Jill Karofsky is a Madison and Dane County activist, and Dan Kelly is a Scott Walker appointee. You can't lie to me and tell me that they were not partisan, because they were both very, very partisan in one direction or the other. Oh, I think I got another caller here. I gotta get you in the waiting room, Anavoltis. I see that Anavoltis is in here ready to go, but I gotta get him in the waiting room. So get in that waiting room so I can pull you in, if you're listening over on the live show. Oh, I see him there. All right, let's get him pulled in here. Let's see what he has to say. Anavoltis, you're on the air.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear everything okay and everything's good?
Yes, everything is being heard well.
All right, so how is your election day going? Did you vote?
I voted actually a little bit over a week ago.
Okay.
I had in-person early voting, so I'm glad I did that, because I'm pretty sure it's probably quite busy today in a lot of places.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how many people were sitting there waiting to vote over in my little tiny town. I didn't think there were that many people in my town.
Yeah. In fact, in the place where I was early voting, they even had a long line for in-person early voting.
Oh wow, that's nuts, because that's one of the things that they try to do, is spread all this out. I got into to vote at the exact proper time this morning. I must have, because I got in. There was no line when I got in there. I got right up to the desk, got everything filled out, and got over to the ballot. And by the time I got around to leave, because the city hall, they had a circular way so they could social distance, the line was out the door by the time I got all the way back around.
Yeah.
So within 15 minutes, it had gone from no line to out the door. And then I looked back 20 minutes later after I went to the grocery store, which is across the street from the polling place, and the line was out the sidewalk all the way back to the parking lot on top of it.
Certainly. I think today's going to be a record turnout. So we're going to have to see whether that carries over into the future.
And it could be. And I know that the reality TV aspect of the way the last 4 years and even the last 12 years have gone in politics, because Barry, for all of his faults, and he had many, he was a reality TV president too. He was up there shining for the camera, always wanted to have the camera pointed at him, and wanted to say the things that everybody wanted to hear in his base.
Indeed.
And it was a soap opera under his administration just as much as it is under the evil Orange Man.
Yes, and I think part of it has to do with simply the nature of the elections in our country, that it's a huge publicity campaign. So, in order to get ahead, you can't be a bookworm anymore. You can't be a silent Cal anymore, like Calvin Coolidge. You have to be a dynamic personality.
I miss Coolidge.
I do too.
I was not even thought of. I was 2 generations out before Coolidge, or when Coolidge was president, but I still miss Coolidge.
Yeah, I think he was probably, in my opinion, the best of the 20th century.
Now I'm going to give you the same disclaimer that I gave to Saint. So, by federal law, I cannot compel you to reveal who you voted for. If you are comfortable sharing that, you are welcome to. But without even revealing, do you feel that your candidate has a decent chance of winning?
No, I do not.
Okay, understood. One of the things that I asked Saint as well was on your ballot, were there referenda other than just the
Uh,
people who were in for office?
there were Florida, because I'm in Florida, has a few constitutional referenda that in election cycles are put to the public to get a vote on in the amendments of the Florida Constitution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Uh,
do,
for ex-
I was going to say, are you comfortable sharing what they were? Or?
uh, yeah. Although if I really wanted to, I could pull out the paper that has it written on there. But uh, one
I
of
just want to make sure you don't dox yourself, so you don't get anything that's too close to home.
no, these are statewide,
Okay.
so I'm pretty comfortable with it. One of them is a question of whether a homestead tax break should be applied for a longer amount of time than it is already being applied, because Florida has a special tax break for homesteading, and the question was whether it should be extended for a longer period of time than it already is. And I'm not in favor of having specific issue tax breaks, because I think that can lead to a lot of gaming the system.
Okay.
So I actually voted against extending the time period. While at the same time, another one was about whether those receiving this tax break could receive it from the widow of a veteran.
Okay.
So that is to say, if a veteran is receiving the tax break and he dies, can his widow receive the same tax break that is already being applied? And I voted yes on that, because I think that in the context of the system, that would be fair.
Okay.
So another one was the question of whether constitutional referendums should pass twice in front of the electorate before being put into law.
Okay.
In other words, the way it currently goes, it's obviously voted on in the state government, and then there's also the referendum that goes down in the election. But if this is implemented, it has to go through the referendum twice.
Okay.
And I voted in favor of that.
All right, we are reconnected back up here. I apologize for the interruption for everybody who was watching off of that when that happened there. We will get back to the chat, which luckily I do have a chat monitor down here and I can pay attention to and see what happened with that there. But you were talking about the referenda for your homestead taxes. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, there you are.
Yeah, the homestead taxes. Well, as I said, one of them was whether they should be extended, which I said no, and the other one was whether they should apply to widows, in which case I said yes.
Okay.
And the other referendum that struck me in particular was the one in regards to whether a constitutional referendum should pass twice in front of the people before being implemented, rather than once as it currently is. And I voted yes on that, because I think it helps curb the idea of mass appeal that I think can be a problem in politics sometimes. Because by putting it forward twice, it allows its opponents to put forward new arguments against it, and therefore gives it a bit of a probationary period.
Okay. So, last thing I want to leave you with, and then I'm going to have to give you the boot here. What do you think is going to be the result based on the two most likely winners of this election? Whether Biden wins or Trump wins?
What I think is that Trump's popularity, at least in my estimation, has probably gone up. So he will probably win the popular vote. Now, when it concerns the Electoral College, I personally think he is more likely than not to win the Electoral College, but that all depends on whether his population has increased in certain parts of the country. Because if it's primarily increased in heavy blue states, that might not actually lend itself to advantages. However, I do think that Trump certainly has the better chances of winning.
Okay. I've actually got to call you out here from the live chat for just a second here. It says, Midget says, Anna didn't even mention the amendment to give non-citizens the right to vote. And he was serious about it because he has 5 exclamation points.
Well, I think that one, the reason I didn't mention it was because I personally didn't take it too seriously and just immediately voted no the moment I read it. So
kind of like when I saw the budget stuff on mine.
It's the kind of stuff where you think, that's not going to happen, and you just vote no on it. Mm-hmm. Because it'd be extremely silly if people voted yes on it. Now, I understand that there's probably some people that did vote yes on it, but I think that that's quite a silly proposition.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to give you the boot here. Is there anything that you want to plug before you head on out of here?
No, I'd just like to say that if people are thinking about the current election, it's important to also think down the line on what's going to happen in the next election. I think it's very important to have that plan ahead.
Okay. All right. I'm going to take you on out of here, but thanks for calling
thank
in.
You.
And, thanks for helping move the show along. All right, that was Anna Valtis. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us again. That's always good to see here. Remember, if you want to call in, get into the Discord server, which is linked in the description of all platforms. Well, not for Periscope, because I don't have it on the Periscope, but on YouTube, DLive, Twitch. It's all right below you. On Facebook, it's above you. Get into that. Get into the Discord. Get into the waiting room and drop a message in Pick Me, so I know that you're ready to go. So let's catch up with the live chat here. Let's see where everything else was going on with this. Where did I leave off? Because I'll have to pull off my tablet. But that's why I kept this out here, so we could do this. I left with... There's a Twitch one here, and I don't see it on here. That's lame. I wonder if Twitch isn't coming in. Or if YouTube booted it because it was possibly somewhat racist. But I was really looking forward to that one there. I hope that they didn't delete it. They must have. Those fuckers. Those fuckers dicking around with my stream and my live chat. If I've got to go to somebody else's live chat, I have no problem watching this on DLive on my tablet here. But let's see. Where did we leave off? I read the one about the Midwest. Grant said one of their providers has deplatformed them. Saint says BitChute got shit canned, and YouTube decided to axe any political advertising today. Grant says I live in Nevada. We get to vote on a ton of judges. I read that one already. Saint says all mountain states switch to Mountain Daylight Time, but we remain Mountain Standard Time. Our time doesn't change, and PDT is set back to match Mountain Standard Time. Grant says, I think Trump will perform better in Nevada, but I don't know if it's enough to win the state. Harry Reid machine is still powerful vote-producing machine here. Okay, that's interesting to see. Let's see. Saint says, or set forward rather. Steel and Soul says the map will look like 2016. Minnesota might be a sleeper to watch. Biden is focusing on Georgia. Well, yeah, with all the Hollywood people moving out to Georgia, I can definitely see that. Emerlyn Julietta says, how about that erection? Well, we're having an erection festival today, apparently. Let's see. Steel and Soul says Blackhawk down. Grant says Nevada went blue back in 2016. Harvey McLeod is here. Says hi, kids. Midget B says, J. Edgar, there aren't that many people in your town. The people you saw were imported fraudulently. No, there's no such thing as voter fraud, Susan. No such thing as voter fraud whatsoever. Absolutely not. That's what the narrative tells me. Let's see. Steel and Soul says voted for Joe then. Well, we can compel him to do so. It's against federal law to compel him to reveal who he voted for. So let's see. Steel and Soul says, not me, I'm not foolish like that. Saint says, I think Coolidge would have a heart attack if he saw the state of the government today. I can attest to that. I think he would too. Let me see. Looks like we will be having Stephen in about 20 minutes. So let me get the message out to him. All right, looks like we will have Stephen Ignoramus in 20 minutes, approximately, over on Zoom. So we'll get some video chat with that as well. So looking forward to that. Let's catch up with the rest of the live chat here before you guys flood me with more, which I love the fact that you guys are doing that, by the way. Saint says, he said, I think Coolidge would have had a heart attack. Midget B says, FFS, our amendments this year were awful. Imagine people voting to give non-citizens the vote. Harvey McLeod says, how else did they stay in power? Oof. Steel and Soul says, my state has Marcy's law and changing around term years to longer for judges. So let's see. Steel, if you want to pop in, just get in the Discord and get into the live room and let me know that you're ready to go. And we can talk about your budgetary, or not budgetary, but referenda. Let's see. They're totally trying to rig the amendment vote. That's interesting. I would love to actually have a conversation about that if Midge wants to pop on. We'll talk about that. That was me saying Spectrum's already on their bullshit because they are indeed on their bullshit. And then I can probably pull this back from the app and see what we've got going on here. Anna said, or didn't even mention the amendment to give non-citizens the right to vote. Midget says it happened in California. Reagan gave non-citizens the vote in California. It's not a funny joke. Chilaga 1984 says, what's up, J-Eds? We got some fresh new faces in here. Yeah, I'm excited to see some new faces in here. If you are over on Periscope, by the way, and watching this, which I don't even know who's watching where, I can probably go and look that there, but head on over into the link for YouTube in my bio and come and hang out with us over here. Because then everybody can, or you can see everybody's chat back. Everybody can see your chat, but you can't see everybody else's chat because of the way that the robot is set up, which I don't really appreciate, but it's what we have to work with off of this here. So that is, we're caught up with the chat right now. Got some new faces in here, some new people to talk to as well. Remember, if you want to call in, you have the opportunity. Get in the Discord server, pop into one of the waiting rooms, and come and hang out. Got probably about 10 more minutes that I will let you come up and talk, and then I will have to clear the waiting room for Stephen Ignoramus. Let's go look and see what's going on with this Gab story while we're watching. So we were talking on the S8 meme competition and catching up with that. Seawall says BitChute is back up. Mitch says account termination emails, though. Seawall says check the site. And Midge says, I'm just saying I want to see those emails. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a conversation about that too and just see what's going on with that. Let's see if there are any other funny memes here before we get into anything else. Some other stuff that we want to go and see. I know this one is, let me get this back up here. This is a classic. I wonder what he's doing in there. Does anybody know? Does anybody want to guess? Maybe he's marking off the ballot with his pecker. But somebody's definitely watching. Look at that dude over there. He's definitely got the look on him. Good stuff. Good stuff. Uh-oh. I lost my camera. There it goes. Sorry, I had to adjust something there. Apparently that doesn't work when I switch off between. Alright, Saint says, share your stickers, I need new ones. I don't have any. All your DLAC people. Yeah, get your stickers in there if you've got to. Spartan says, how to spot an Antifa voter. Antifa. I was getting into an argument with somebody over on Twitter about Antifa and all this. David Duke, by the way. I wanted to point this out because this is actually something that's a little bit noteworthy coming up to the election today. Is David Duke switched his endorsement back in May? David Duke endorsed Biden because Trump was a Zionist and he didn't want to be associated with him. Well, apparently yesterday, because the article was edited on November 2nd, yesterday, Duke changed his endorsement. So, of course, he did right at the last minute to try and change the election or anything. I don't know what his big thing was, but apparently yesterday, David Duke has officially endorsed Donald Trump instead. Spartan says, let's go Jeb Bush 2020. The deep state is conspiring to drive Ed nuts. No, it's not the deep state that's conspiring to drive me nuts. It is Charter Spectrum kicking me off. That's what's driving me nuts. So, yeah, glad to see what we've got here. Let's see, what else can we talk about here? That's like the most unprofessional thing to say as a host somewhere. I don't know. The left is going fucking crazy. I've been blocked by 2 people today already over on Twitter for pointing out the flaws in their modern monetary theory is coming back up into play. That's been something that's been being discussed back and forth all day because all the red roses are coming out right now and saying, well, it's time for us to switch out to modern monetary theory, and Kamala is going to switch us into modern monetary theory, and modern monetary theory is bullshit. It's basically saying we can print whatever money we need to take care of things. And I don't know if they understand how that works because they always swear that there's not going to be any inflation and that the government can just decide what the value of money is. That's not how any of this works. Every dollar in your pocket, I've got one right here. Every dollar in your pocket is a representative. It represents a portion of the GDP of this country, the total value output of this country. Is every one of these is a portion of that. Both every one of these and every one of the digital funny money ones that's pretty much just computer glitched into existence. That is a representation of a percentage of the total output of your country. So the more of them you put in, the less it's worth based against the total output of your country. And the other thing that they don't seem to understand right now is that I could possibly pull another guest in. I just saw something over on Twitch and possibly I saw one of the election streams got canceled. Maybe we'll see if we can get Liberty Doll in. That'd be an interesting one. Not 8 to midnight, 4 to midnight. Let's see if we can pull Liberty Doll. That would be a fun one to go with. I hate to be opportunistic, but hey, I'm always looking to see if other people will pop in here. Let's see what the live chat's saying. Ron says, had to switch to YouBoob, not enough resources for DLive. Yeah, I don't know why DLive is such a memory hog. It's open source, so you would think that it wouldn't be that bad. But yeah, DLive is a memory hog. I've been watching that. Saint Actual says MMT is just an inflation plan. Yeah, that is, and that's what I try to explain to the people. But they just think that the government can come out and print the money and send it. And that's not a new thought. I've already had that discussion with a few people saying that, okay, well, this is what happens, and this is what happens when you just keep printing funny money. Aimless Gamer is in here. Looks like I got a ping over here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, that's Maddie. I think Maddie's going to be popping in here later too. Let's see. Poor people being desperate for money is what stops inflation. That's fair. Leaving Hope News. That's a new name in here, but that dollar wasn't in your pocket, was it? It was on your desk. Argument. Fair point. I'll give that one to you, Leaving Hope News. Welcome on in. That's the first time I'm seeing your name in here, but yeah, that's a fair point. You got me on that one. Spartan says you could put $1 billion in my account and it doesn't matter. Only how it's used affects the economy. Well, I have a feeling that if we put $1 billion in your account, and I know you, Spartan, you'd have a nuclear weapon. And nobody wants you to have a nuclear weapon. Aimless Gamer says, hi all. Chilaga says, hey Ron, Spartan and Aimless and Saint. Saint says, are you near Aimless Gamer or do you just have poor aim? I don't understand. Sorry. Spartan says, money is a fictional creation. Inflation is part human emotions towards money as well as too large of a money supply. Well, if you've got too large of a money supply, then it's not exactly a fictional concept either. Something to keep in mind with that. It is a representation, and the biggest part for that, and one of the things that I got blocked for off of this was I pointed out the fact that the currency is not controlled by the government. Yes, they do have a say in this, but for the most part, the currency is controlled by a private bank in Colorado, the Federal Reserve. I think it's Colorado, isn't it? It's the Federal Reserve, though, controls the supply and the flow of money. And their owners are billionaires, plus the Congress is set to get all of their competition out of the way, so you can't bring up new currencies. I know that there's a lot of push to crush Bitcoin right now, which Bitcoin is rising. Spartan, what's Bitcoin up to? Let's see. Oh, are you an aimless gamer? That's what he said. Spartan says, God wants me to have nuclear weapons. God help us. God help us if Spartan ever gets nuclear weapons. But Lord Rothschild owns your money. Yeah, that's a fair point too. All right, what do you guys want to talk about? Let's see if we've got anybody in here. Nukes are fake and gay. Well, hopefully we'll never have to learn. Hopefully we will live in ignorant bliss about that one. But I know nuclear theory. I know nuclear physics, and it is not indeed fake and gay. Nuclear power, nuclear energy, and nuclear fission are very, very real. And very dangerous. Do we have any more memes that we want to play up before Steven gets in here? I know they've been doing the Wi-Fi stuff. Press Wi-Fi, SSID. Let's get this up here so you guys can see it. Press Wi-Fi, SSID. Biden built the cages. Password, Trump built the wall. That's a good one. Trump Pence. Wi-Fi information network. Where is Hunter? Password. 10 for the big guy. I don't have any sounders. I had to make up my own. Wi-Fi information. Network. Make America great again. Password. Who built the cages? Joe. All one word with a question mark at the end. That was in my neck of the woods. That was just a little ways over there in Waukesha. Just in case the party of love, compassion, and tolerance loses. Yeah, we'll see what happens off of that. Shooting in Vienna, we talked about that this morning. The Deer says, hey, yeah, you. Epstein is slowly being forgotten and 0 corrupt elites were brought to justice. Right before hunting season, so I bet you that deer is going to get Arkansas-ed. Rest in peace, dear. All right. Let's see. It looks like we've got Leaving Hope in here. So if you want to get into the Discord, come on in. I'm going to put you off until after Steven pops on. So that's what that's going to be here. Let's pop this back off. All right. Good deal. What else are you guys saying over here? What time does Florida result hit? I don't know, but I know that we're going to be looking into some of the results at the beginning of the 8 p.m. stream. Remember, that is going to be a DLive exclusive because YouTube is going to pop me for trying to watch the Young Turks and laugh at them while we're watching all this comes in. Saint says, I want Spartan to have nuclear weapons. God help us. Spartan says 13,801.61 is Bitcoin's dollar value. Spartan says, I will take AI over nukes. Saint says, a bunch of people got beamed on Bitcoin sites. Oh, you've got your DLive emojis that I can't see. This... Let me show you what happens when you guys put that in there, and then I can see. This mouse is going to get thrown against the wall. Yeah, that's what I see when you put up your emojis there, Saint, or Spartan rather. And I'm watching the monitor on DLive or on YouTube to see if I get axed for whatever reason off of this. Let's see. Saint Actual. Nothing steals my heart like WMDs as gift. I say it's time we put the MAD theory to the test. Mutually assured destruction. Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah, Steven is down on the scene. He's down on the ground, so I'm hoping that we get some just some ideas of what we're seeing off of this, what we are seeing from the riots, and pretty much what's going on the ground. I would love to get some footage of that if he can. I know he's going to be coming in on his phone, so he's not going to be popping in on the computer or anything, but to get some scenes of what's going on down there, see the boarded up buildings, to see all of this stuff, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's seeing out there, what he's going on with. So, yeah, he's down there. Just kind of killing a little bit of time because he should be popping in on any minute at this point. But hey, I mean, why would I ever be prepared for a stream? All right, you guys. Let's keep going. Let's keep talking over here. Get that channel back up so I can see when you guys are ready to pop in here. All right, where's the live chat? Spartan says, MAD, make atomic doom. Yeah, we're getting there. And I think that is a part of the reason that we're not going to any big wars right now is the fact that there is mutually assured destruction no matter who the president is. Now, don't take that the wrong way and don't think for a second that I don't believe that if Biden becomes the president, that we're going to see another war, because I know all the Bushites, all the war hawks are standing in behind Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, going out and saying, well, we need to go to war. We need to do this. Raytheon needs money. Raytheon needs something to go shoot ammunition at. The war hawks are out there, and they definitely want to go out to war. They definitely want war to happen off of this, because they're not making money when we're just sitting over there stalling out instead of going directly headlong into war. And it was interesting to see. It was interesting to talk about, because I know that one of Trump's big pet projects and one of Jorgensen's big pet projects too, both things that both candidates talked about throughout this election cycle, was getting more troops home. That was one of the things that Dr. Joe talked about consistently when she was talking about all of this, was the fact that she was going to be the one to bring all the troops home. That was going to be her that brought the troops home. And she said that, well, on my first day as president, I'm going to bring the troops home. And honestly, no, you're not. I think it's cool that you think that, and I really hope that we get a president in that can do that. But there's more than just the commander-in-chief saying, okay, all the troops are coming home. There is way more to it than that. And I wish that it wasn't. I really wish that it was just as easy as coming down and saying, okay, all the troops are coming home. I wish to God it was that easy, but it's not. Because it costs money to transport. I mean, it costs a bunch of money to get the people out there, but it costs money to bring them back home. And as much as, yes, the president is the commander-in-chief, you're absolutely right about that. It doesn't work that way because Congress still has to cut the check to get them home. And if you're not going to play ball with Congress, Congress is making big money off of these defense companies. A lot of the people in Congress have silent donations coming in from them to make sure that we stay at war for a very long time. So they continue to fire missiles and bombs and balls and guns and everything else to go along with that. There's a lot of interest in Congress to keep going to war. So it's not as easy. And I know the struggle has been to get out there for Trump to get in, for Trump to even get in and bring people home from the Middle East is like pulling teeth at this point because he's got to get the funding to do the transportation. And then he's also, at some cases, has to have Congress make a treaty in order to end some of these wars. The president can't go out and make a treaty. The president can make a backroom deal and drop pallets of cash over on Iran, but they can't make an official treaty to end a war. Only Congress can do that. So there's a lot more than just, we're bringing the troops home. Let's see, what do we got here? Chilaga says, I want to see that unscalable fence. Oh, I hope we get to see that. I hope we get some stream off of that too. Maybe we'll pull in some of Steven's stream and just a bit as well. We could possibly watch some of that while we're going along. I don't know if I can do that on YouTube or not, but we'll try it. We'll see if they kick me out for that. And once again, we're always staying on DLive and Twitch and Facebook and Periscope for the rest of the night too. So that's always an option as well. Aimless says, I just wanted him down there, or just watched him down there rather. Spartan says, MAD, make Adams dance. Saint says, I have to switch to YouTube so I can close my phone and preserve battery. Yeah, you're probably still in the truck, aren't you, Saint? And I think, if I remember what you were saying yesterday, I think I know where you're at too. So yeah, definitely you're going to want to save some of that battery and close the phone. I don't know what you're going to be watching us on, but hopefully you'll be sitting and hanging out with us. Spartan says, Putin is in a stronger position to oppose American adventurism. That is some alliteration right there. And I'm glad that I got to read that. Honestly, I think you're right. He's in a stronger position to oppose the adventurism because we're looking at this position right now where people are getting ready to get out of the Middle East and get out and hop back in and come back over here. And I know that Russia wants that oil, and it's surprising that they do, but I mean, everybody's discovering oil left and right too. That was one of the things that we were sold on for the Middle East, was the fact that we were going over there for oil. I know that that's what they keep saying about the presidents, especially like a Bush, who was an oil baron. Well, we're just going over there for foreign oil, or we want to keep our enemies from getting their hands on that foreign oil. One of the two things is out there, and one of the two messages is out there, but we found a lot of oil in our country, and we found a lot of oil in Russia. Russia's making a pipeline. Looks like John is ready to pop on if we want. I still haven't heard anything from Steven, so yeah, I can go ahead and pull you if you want to pop on. So get on over into the Zoom call, and I'll pull you in. Possibly we'll have Steven on with you at the same time. And I might make your call a little bit longer if you have the chance to hang out if we get Steven on too, because with him being downtown, I do want to give him priority. But yeah, if you want to pop on, I'll pull you in. We'll test that one out. I do want to see that unscalable fence, because I remember seeing the unscalable fence that they had over in Kenosha. And it looked pretty scalable to me, but oh, we got Vega. Oh, he's ready to come. Oh, that's because he just got done vooting. He vooted so hard, man. So we like seeing John over here, so we'll definitely be checking that out. Brian Nichols. God damn it, I lost that. Brian Nichols put up an interesting question over here. Let me go and find him back up while I'm waiting for John. Which John is coming in, so we'll get him admitted and get his audio started while I look for Brian Nichols. John from Gen Gap is connecting to audio and can't hear you yet. So Brian Nichols says, if Biden wins tonight, how many cities do you think will be burning due to conservative Republican rioters and looters? And that is an interesting question. How many of those cities do you think will be happening there? He's still connecting the audio there, so I'll be watching for him for just a second. And that's a good question. And it's something I brought up before. All these businesses are boarding up their buildings to make sure that they don't get busted in the event that Biden wins. Or I'm sorry, in the event that Biden loses. Because in all honesty, how many times is a redneck like me going to go out into a place like New York City or Washington, D.C. or Portland or Los Angeles and go out and start riding? They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen.
All right, there we go. What's up?
Hey, let's get the scene changed
Hey,
up
sorry
here
about
now.
that.
Welcome John in, or the silhouette of John, I should say.
Yeah, let me put this down.
That's
All
okay.
right, sorry if there's any like noise pollution. I'm kind of sitting on a balcony right now.
We like noise pollution around here.
All right. Can you see me all right? I can't really see.
I see your silhouette.
All right, good enough.
I see the silhouette of a can. I see a little silhouette of a can.
Good. Yeah. See, I'm just hanging out in St. Petersburg, Florida right now.
Oh,
For the
you and your
election.
fucking Russian influence.
I know. Well, I wanted to interfere in their election, see how they liked it.
You actually specified, though, it was St. Petersburg, Florida, not St. Petersburg, Russia.
Yeah, I know.
I missed the meme. I should be ashamed. I need 20 lashes right now at this point for missing that meme.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, man.
you mentioned on your show that you voted. You voted very, very hard.
Extremely hard. I think I expressed how hard I booted in the chat there earlier.
And once again, per federal law, I can't compel you to reveal who you voted for. But are you comfortable telling us who you voted for?
Oh yeah, I mean I already mentioned on your show. Was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I voted Joe Jorgensen.
I'm actually going to put you on the back burner for. Do you have time to stick around for a little bit, or?
Yeah, I can stick around for a bit.
Okay, I'm going to give Steven the priority because I know that he's midstream right now and he's going to come hang out with us and tell us what they've got on the ground. So let's get him in here.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Steven.
Hey,
How's the ground?
Yeah, it's good, man. It's exciting. I'm walking over to Black Lives Matter Plaza right now, 16th Street, and dude, this is like a music festival. Dude. It's like a 7-stage music festival. That's basically what the vibe is right now. In a second, I'm gonna flip around the camera and show
Okay.
you guys. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I got a lot of good. I don't know, a lot of characters, cartoon characters out here.
What do you mean?
Dude, there's like I can't explain it, man. There's like people dressed up like bushes. There's like not like George Bush, like Bush, like hot Bush. There's like people painting themselves, crying in the street, like it's like performance art. It's crazy, man. Like I don't know, it's hard to describe. You're gonna see it in a second. Let me see if I can flip my camera around. How do I do that?
Usually it's, oh yeah, like that.
Cool. All right, so now I'm going up to, and I have about, let's see how much time I got. Yeah, I got at least 20 minutes. I don't know if that works, but
Yeah, that's plenty of time. And John is seated the time to use, so he can stick around for a little while too. John's in here with us.
hi, John.
Or the silhouette of John, I should say, is in here with us.
I saw your shadow.
It looks kind of ominous up there with
So,
John just sitting there in the silhouette.
Are there any results so far?
What is it? Dixon Notch, New Hampshire, has their results in. 5 votes for Biden.
Yep.
So New Hampshire, by New Hampshire.
No, just that one little village. That's the first one to vote every year. 5 votes.
Oh,
They vote
I
at
see.
midnight.
Oh, I understand. Okay.
And
So
then,
here we are. This is, this is where it's at. And here's the church. And the White House is, farther away down there.
okay.
You got the media. There's like 3 or 4 media stations. They're like at each intersection there's a media station. And as you get through here, there's, various publications. A lot of them are European.
Yeah, I had a little bit of that in Kenosha too when I was walking around for that. I saw a couple of European ones. I actually saw the German affiliate of something that was out in D.C. was up in Kenosha for that. I asked you about that.
Yeah.
What's the
Oh yeah, I
general
forgot
feel?
about that. It's calm. It's festive. It's a little tense. When we get closer, you'll see.
Okay.
But there's just a lot of people doing. I mean, there's some Trump people down here too.
Okay.
Like 3, like 3 or 4. Bunch
Yeah,
of evangelists. So.
I'm kind of curious to see what comes of that, and that's I was talking about that a little bit ago with the boarded up buildings of how many people are going to go into places like D.C. or New York or whatnot and actually go and riot if Biden wins. And Brian Nicholas had just put that tweet up as well.
If he wins, yeah, I don't know. It's tough to say. You got a bum line right here.
Looks like they've all got their phones out. They're all watching for something. I can't quite tell what it is. Hey, listen, they got a good beat.
So it's like this,
Yeah.
This is what it's like. So now we're up at the front.
Is this the unscalable wall that they were talking about, or?
Yeah, but that was just a lot. I don't think that was real.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the one that's always up.
okay. How's the noise level? Because I can hear some of it leaking through, but it's distorted, obviously, because of the stream.
I could listen to that all day, but no, that's not what we're here for, I guess. Yeah, so there's a good shot of the White House. I don't know if I can zoom in. Can I do it?
I don't know how Zoom works on iOS, so I couldn't tell you, unfortunately.
Oh well, I'll tell you right now that I got a Samsung, J. Edgar.
Oh. I don't know how Zoom actually works on that either, unfortunately. Chilaga asks if you're wearing a bandana, by the way.
On my neck, so I can tell racist jokes later.
Nice.
Yeah, so I can put it above my face and smile later, but not right now. It's just on my neck. Tell him I said hey. Well, I guess I don't need you to tell him I said hey because I'm talking right now.
Yeah.
Kind of retarded. Yeah, so they just got all this propaganda up here.
Spartan says he uses a Simp song too.
Sim song?
Simp song, yeah.
Sim song. This is the church that Trump like, held up a Bible in front of.
Okay.
More media. It's all iPads now, yo. It's crazy. So.
I know it's my inner video game talking there, but I recognize a lot of this kind of street building stuff from Fallout 3.
Yeah.
That's probably just about as chaotic. Have you seen any super mutants yet?
Any what?
Any super mutants?
Any super mutants? Oh, well, a few, but like the blue-haired kind. Not the,
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Got a bunch of doors. Is that what it's called? Like a foghorn? Cola?
Maybe if you start yodeling with them.
There's more like right-wingers out here than I thought.
That is a little bit surprising, being downtown like that.
Yeah, but it's gonna turn soon. About an hour or two after it gets dark, it gets a lot different, a lot more sketchy.
Well, that's been most of the protests too, and once we start seeing stuff roll in too, that's going to be a lot of change for that, I think.
Yeah, dude.
Especially if we start getting some results, and they're not going the way that a lot of these people want.
I'll walk on the other side.
You know, the funniest thing is that John thought that he was going to have the most noise pollution out of this call.
Who's the guy I was talking about? Look at this.
Hey, furries. Pot squash for president. I love that. That's amazing. That guy gets my vote. Let's see. Ron wants to know if there are any women hitting on you.
I had a couple people.
Yeah. Watching trains go by is in my chat. He says, been bouncing around. Evening all. Is this DC? Yes, this is, I think you're on Pennsylvania Avenue right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
But
this is...
how dare you big it? This is Black Lives Matter Plaza.
Okay.
No, they're the same thing. Yeah, they just say, like, I don't know if you can see it, but they took down the 16th Street and says Black Lives Matter Plaza. See?
Yeah. Lame.
The White House. Yeah, we'll see what happens. If something big happens, will you message me on Discord?
Yes.
Just like if a big state, if something weird, weird or big happens.
Yeah, when I go to the DLive exclusive, I'll be watching the results pour in. So that'll be after 9 your time. I'll start watching the results pour in. And yeah, if something big happens, I'll definitely pop in with you.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy either way.
How's the crowd been on your side? I don't know how much of the chat that you can see.
On mine,
Yeah.
I had like 50 people in there on Periscope.
Okay.
Yeah, so and then I'm sure it'll get bigger later. So what I'm doing is I'm going to be here for a couple minutes, and then I'm going on Let's Be Frank, and then
Okay.
I'm doing my second stream. So my second stream will be like 7 to 10:30.
Okay. Perfect.
And I don't know. At some point, I'll get beat up, and I'll recover, and fix my wounds. It'll be fine.
And then we'll throw up, pass out, wake up, and then go drinking once again.
Yeah, I did just have a beer. It's very nice.
Ron actually has a question here. So, do I need to prep a room for 2 now for the Boogaloo, Steven?
Ron, we have to come to an understanding, but I'm sure it'll work out. I have to feed your chickens and play you piano, and I get a room and board. I'm good with it.
I don't know if you caught that, Ron, with the noise, but all right, I'm gonna
Sorry.
let you on out of here to get you back and get you to streaming here. I'm gonna let
Cool, man.
John talk for a little
good to
bit.
be on.
All right, so we will.
Well, I love you guys. I'll be safe. Can you remove me instead of me leaving? Can you like kick me out?
I think so.
Actually, no, don't. No, don't do it because that'll make it permanent. I won't be able to come back.
Okay.
Cool. I'm out. Much love, y'all. See you later. I'll come back on your stream at like 10:30 or something like that.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Later, y'all. Peace.
All right, you have the floor, John.
All right. Yeah, that was cool seeing Steven out there. It's always fun seeing his like on the ground stuff.
I know. I moved some stuff around too, and like I said, I was gonna hopefully get one guest at a time in for all this,
Yeah.
but I know Steven he's got a schedule to keep, and he's trying to do his own streams as well. So I do appreciate you taking the time and hanging out with that. And that is Steven Ignoramus. For those of you who don't know, thanks for coming in and hanging out with us and showing us a little bit of on the ground there. That was kind of cool. So we were talking about who you voted for, and you were pretty open about that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, anyone who knows me or has seen my show or saw your show Saturday knows who I voted for. So I mean, it's not like a secret, really.
It's a huge secret.
And I'm pretty open about that. People don't really care. Like, if they're part of one of the major parties, they're like, "Oh yeah, I voted Joel Jorgensen." They're like, "All right, whatever." Like, they're not going to argue about it usually. Unless they're one of the, your third party vote cost my candidate the election. Unless they're one of those, then
You're
they
always
don't
going to
care.
get some of that.
Oh yeah.
Obviously, I got to ask this, but how do you feel about your candidate's chances?
Feeling pretty good. I feel like she has absolutely no chance. But I had to vote my conscience instead of just like I don't want to vote against somebody. You know what I mean? I just don't like the idea of that. So I'd rather just vote for somebody, or at least for my ideals.
Yeah. And I mean, and I mentioned it too on my solo video and a little bit this morning and a little bit at the top of this stream too. I mean, I voted for Trump and I voted for him. I didn't vote against anybody else, but I had to get there kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Because, and as I mentioned to the poll worker who texted me this morning, yeah, okay, I can support Trump, but stop fucking spending money. My God, you don't have any. You're a government entity.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't. Oh, we've got another person in here.
Oh. Oh shit.
I don't know if you saw that name pop up, but yeah, we're gonna have
No.
another person join.
What's going on, fellas?
Oh, RSC, what's up, bro?
Same old shit. Just waiting to find out what our destiny is going to be.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I'm taking the George McFly approach to it. I'd rather see what our density is. How we
What the hell?
doing?
Why do I look so huge?
I don't know. It must
should
be something with your
probably
camera.
Yeah, I got to figure that out. Hold on.
So I've got the close up on the R-rated conservative, the close up on me, and the silhouette of John from the Generational Ship.
Yeah, I'm coming in anonymous this time.
You never go on a stream without your sunglasses. You're coming in anonymous every time.
Ah,
That's right. That's true.
So did you? And I know that you have some of the same referenda on your ballot that Anna Valtis did. So we talked a bit about that. How did you feel about the referenda that were on your ballot this time through, with the Homestead Taxes Act?
To be honest, I really don't know that much about it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I really don't know that much about it. I can't really speak on it. I mean, I'll be honest, I voted no on it because taxes. But yeah, I don't know really anything about it.
Okay. And Midget pointed out as well that you had an addendum for giving non-citizens the right to vote.
Well, I mean, I think you know where I would stand on that.
Absolutely let him in. because I voted for Big L libertarians? Is that where you stand on that?
No, not at all. No, I'm not one of the. I'm not a big L, but even though I might vote for them, it's almost like they're holding my vote hostage.
My vote! I'm gonna vote! I'm gonna
No,
vote!
my vote. Give me my vote back.
Were there any other referenda that were on your ballot specifically where you're at, or?
No, not in my county. But I mean, there was a libertarian that ran unopposed. That was kind of cool.
Oh, what was that for?
County commissioner.
Okay.
Yeah. And I've actually, like, I'm impressed by him because he's done a ton of campaigning. I've seen his signs everywhere, all around the county. He had a billboard, which was awesome. You never see libertarians with billboards. He was just like, he was all over social media. He was just, I don't know, he was like out there campaigning. He was actually the one that Robert, he came up to Robert one time when he was at the local community college.
Okay.
And gave his spiel or whatever. So ever since he did that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna look into this guy, and I did. And he seems pretty all right. And he was running, like I said, libertarian.
Now, was there an incumbent in that race, or is he the incumbent, or what's the deal with that?
No, there was just nobody. Like whoever it was before, I don't even know his name. That's probably not a good look for me. But whoever was in there before just didn't rerun. And no one else was looking for it. So, I don't know, but good luck to him, man. I mean, so long as there's not someone writing in a shitload of names, I mean, obviously he's going to get it if he's running unopposed.
We lost the R-rated conservative. His Zoom dropped. I just got the text message from him to alert me to that, so we've got you off of that. Ready to go. I'm going to check up with the chat here for just a little bit and see what they're saying, because we've been in and out with that with Steven on there. Ron Helton is in. He's over on YouTube because his DLive is taking up too much resource on his computer. The common problem with him, of course. He says...
he's still on a potato, isn't he? Like a 1984 potato?
You broke up there, I'm sorry.
I was saying Ron Helton's still on like a 1968 or 1986 potato, right?
The Apple IIe.
A what?
The Apple IIe.
The Apple IIe, yeah, exactly. It's just a word processor. It's not like his.
Ron says, feed the chickens and play the piano. Check. And then he says, stay safe. Watching Trains Go By is in here with an update, which I need to start looking for some of those too so we go along. But Indiana, 1% Trump lead. New Hampshire, 1% Trump lead. Kentucky, 8% Biden lead. Ron says, I wish the Libertarian Party had a better candidate this year. Sorry, but I think Joe is just too Marxist for my taste.
Okay.
And that was a little bit the struggle that I had with her too, right from the beginning.
Yeah, 100% agreed. She was not my candidate of choice. I would have gone with John Mons.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys remember who he was. I liked him and his bow tie. But unfortunately, that's not the way that it went. And I don't know. I just couldn't go for any of the two main ones once again.
Well, and I mean, as far as and we interviewed on the network, we interviewed quite a few of them between your show, my show, Steven's show, and the Freckles and Brit show. We had quite a few libertarian candidates on for interviews through all of that. And
we had Keenan Wallace Dunham on, and I don't want to say anything bad about him in public, but we've talked a bit about him in private. So
I actually liked KWD rather.
Yeah, he seems like a good guy. I don't know that he would have gotten my vote.
I think he would have got mine if he'd have gone there. Not necessarily on his platform, but what he was able to say on the news that was going on at the time when he was on my show. I would have actually really enjoyed seeing him be the candidate, and I think he would have done well.
Yeah, I mean, he's a well-spoken guy, and he knows his shit. But like I said, I don't want to say anything like bad about him in public. I mean, because like I said, he's a nice enough guy. There's nothing really wrong with him as like a person. Just he has some silly ideas. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even Kokesh,
Yeah.
I think would have done better than Jorgensen. And I liked
Oh, for
Kokesh's platform too. It was a little
Yeah.
bit extreme for my taste, but he was going in the right direction.
Well, I mean, it's one of those, like, it's one of the tools of negotiation, right? Is you go for the huge extreme, and then you meet somewhere in the middle to where you actually want to be, as opposed to where you started out. So, I mean, I can see why he chose the tactic that he did. Maybe he was serious, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. But I certainly liked what he was saying.
I've got the big ask. I've got the best ask. I have the best asks. And that's what we talk about with a negotiating tactic.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. We've got some more stuff in here from the chat. Kind of on topic with us here. Ron says, let's see. Let's go back here. Spartan says, I can't stand her open border policies, Sir Ron. Ron says,
Agreed.
perfect world. I want open borders. This world is far from perfect. I don't want to wake up in a country with over 1 billion people in a communist government. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Ron says, we vote to retain or not retain the judges here every election. I always vote to send them packing. Judges should be changed like dirty diapers. Damn lawyers. I would love to destroy the legal guild. Yeah. Ron
yeah.
hates the criminal justice system.
Dude, I love Ron.
I do. Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, Ron's awesome. He's always got the spicy, awesome takes.
He's a little bit more yellow than I am. I can tell you that. RRC is in, says fucking technology, so we will wait and see if he is able to pop back in. Silent Caster is here. Welcome on in. Ron says, no, it's a Commodore with expendable RAM. This is Mons, the guy from Georgia. I'm not sure if I'm spelling his name right.
MONDS, just like you would think.
Yeah, he's got that in there then. You got it right.
Yeah, he was a guy from Georgia, though, yeah.
He was very intelligent, had good ideas. I didn't get to talk to him, so I don't necessarily know, and I didn't really pay attention to his platform.
I didn't know who he was until I watched the last LP debate.
Okay.
That was the first time I saw him. I mean, obviously that's my fault for not looking into the candidates, but all of them at least. But when I did hear him, I was like, yeah, this guy, like he was, like he said, like the chatter said, he's very well spoken and had great ideas. So yeah, I was a fan, and I'll be looking for him again.
Silent Caster says, I feel like Jorgensen tried to go really hard with the meme type of campaign and was outdone. I can see that. I don't know. I've had my differences with that campaign. Ron says, I like Kokesh. Ending the central government is a good idea. Then he says, Joe tried to appeal to the extreme left. Marxist crash and burn.
Yeah. Which I thought was so stupid. I think we talked about this on Saturday, right?
Yeah, we did.
I think it was, yeah. Where, I don't know, she was pandering to people who hate liberty and people who, want the exact opposite. And I think that was a bad move. And you made a good point, I think, about it. But,
Which one?
Yeah, as I said that, I couldn't remember what it was, but I remember it being a good point.
I think you're talking about, don't quote me on this if I'm wrong on this, but I think you're talking about the point that I made in which Gary Johnson was kind of put in to pull the classical Republicans away from Manhattan Democrat, who was running for the Republican Party.
Yeah.
To pull some of that.
You're saying that they've done that before, and they were trying to peel them off for the progressives now, the people who were like progressive but not, like the Antifa BLM type. But yeah, I mean, even then, it's like they want more government. They're not going to come over to you for less government. Like it's still antithetical to their beliefs and their ideals. So I just don't see the point.
But intersectionality, John. Don't forget intersectionality. That's the most important part.
Oh, how can I?
Do you remember when she was first announced? And the first thing that she did was grab the hashtag I'm with her.
Right, that was amazing. I was like,
that
okay.
was amazing.
And I didn't like her at first, and then she did that, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna give her a chance. Maybe she's gonna come through. Nope.
Yeah, that was good. That was spicy. I liked seeing that.
Yeah. Oh, they were so mad. Oh my god.
Well, they lost the intersectionality aspect of it. That was the biggest part of it, and the biggest thing that they wanted to do. That's why they put Kamala on there, because they had to go. They had out intersectionality the LP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And I do have to wonder if there would have been a difference had, like, Wallace Dunham or Kokesh been the person. If it would have been opened up to someone like Elizabeth Warren or Kirsten Gillibrand or someone like that. I do have to wonder if Seawall came, or not Seawall, Styx Hexenhammer came out and said that Kamala Harris is a diversity hire.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Now, I actually think that Trump would be having a harder time if they had gotten someone like Kirsten Gillibrand or Elizabeth Warren, because people were actually excited about them.
Yeah.
No one's excited about Joe.
Yeah.
So I think it would not be as close of a race either way, or it would be much closer either one, depending on if Trump wins or not. But with one of those two, I think that he would have had a much harder time.
I gotta acknowledge somebody new in the chat here, because a couple new people have popped up in here, and one of them is a new name that I've never seen in here before. Abron Cendric is in here. That's a new name. That's one I've never seen in. Grant is still at work. He'll be popping in and out of the chat if you're still on later tonight. I'm going till midnight Central. So I believe you're in Nevada, so you're in Mountain Time, so 11 o'clock your time. So you got time. Seawall's in here. And Abron says Biden's leading in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's weird.
And now I've got to acknowledge the new person in the Zoom chat as well. RRC, you're back.
That's right. That's right.
How's your camera
So,
situation now?
look at you.
Well, hopefully it's fixed now.
So,
It looks like it.
how was your election?
So far so bad. Because up here, we're not even getting a tally yet for anything state and local. So we're probably not going to know. In this fucking state, we'll know around Christmas time who won. But
To be fair,
yeah, I mean, just from what I'm watching throughout the day, I'm predicting Trump is definitely going to take this. And while I was trying to fix this bullshit I just went through, I heard you guys talking about like Joe Jorgensen and stuff. You got to be realistic about this. Now, look at what Trump has gone through for the last 4 years. Mm-hmm. You got to ask yourself, do you think either she, meaning Joe, or anybody else would be able to endure the nuclear assault that Trump has taken nonstop for the last actually almost 5 years now?
well, that's one of the big things, too, to keep in mind with Dr. Jorgensen as well, is that she would be coming from the same situation, from the outside as an outsider candidate, with intent to break up some of the monopolies that the insiders have put on for 70 fucking years. So she would be.
Oh, yeah. No. I don't dispute that. But my thing is, it's a little, she'd be coming from the exact same route. So they're going to hit her the exact same way. Do you think she's going to be able to take that sort of abuse like Trump has? Trump is used to getting shit on by the press.
So hang on. I don't think that she's going to go through that. She would go through the same thing, though. They're definitely going to hit her, but I think it's going to be more of like how they were messing with Amy Coney Barrett. That they kind of
have. See, Amy Coney Barrett was a little bit different because she wasn't actually in the seat, and once you're confirmed as a judge, they leave you alone. This is a little different, where if you are the president, they can hammer you constantly. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't see anybody else being able to take what Trump has taken without finally at least buckling to the pressure and bending the knee. I don't see it happening.
I don't think she can handle it like that, but I don't think she would receive the same amount of like vitriol that Trump has gotten.
Yeah, probably not, because she'd be easier to break. They had to hit Trump with every fucking thing they got because they had no choice. Mm-hmm. And they still didn't break them.
Maybe, but if they're seen as like going after her too hard, she can bring up, well, I'm a PhD, I'm a woman, like, you know what I mean? Like, it goes against it destroys their entire narrative, and they can't cover that up. And again, that's why they didn't go after Amy Coney Barrett that much, other than for like her religion, which turned out to be completely blunt, and they had nothing. And I think that same thing would happen to Joe Jorgensen. I mean, not that it matters, it's a moot point, but
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
fair.
think that they actually get the same kind of vitriol.
Probably not as severe, but they'd fuck with it one way or another. If anything, if they could get any kind of dirt on her, they would just compromise her. If they had
Yeah.
anything at all, because these people are ruthless, they will use whatever they can against you.
Yeah.
Especially
As
when
we've
it's someone
seen.
from the outside.
Right. Anytime an outsider comes in, this is what they do to them. And Trump was different because they knew he wasn't just another one that they could all gang up on and destroy. This guy was already an icon. He was a billionaire. He was pretty much unbreakable. If they hadn't broken him by that point, they knew they were going to have to hit him with everything they had. And they have. They have hammered him nonstop with press smears, threats on his life, one crisis after another, and trying to create a false narrative around him. And I got to give the guy credit. I can't see anybody else on the face of the earth that could have done what he has done. I mean, I know you guys are libertarians and everything, but right now, the country's not ready for a libertarian candidate because the whole deal with libertarians, you guys are soft on everything. You don't take hard stances. You believe in freedom. You believe everybody should go their own way and think for themselves.
I don't
But
know. Go tell a libertarian that you're not so sure about the Second Amendment. Tell me they
Yeah.
don't have a hard stance on something. I mean, I get what you're saying, though. I see your point, that they're usually pretty amenable. At least the LP is, the Libertarian Party is. But you talk to a quote-unquote real libertarian, and you'll get a completely different answer.
There's
oh
no
yeah,
such
yeah,
thing
yeah.
as a real libertarian.
When I refer to libertarians, I'm talking about the actual party structure, not talking about the people on the ground.
Right. Yeah,
Because always with the party structure, they've proven, number one, they can't sell it. Number two, they're just plain weak. They've had all this time. They could have came in all the previous elections. They could have installed somebody. Ron Paul couldn't even sell it, and I always liked Ron Paul.
Oh,
He,
yeah.
he could not sell it. And you be quiet.
Yeah.
Come over here. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that, the U.S. at least is not ready for a libertarian candidate. Oh, shit, that's a lot of music. But that's not to say that you should just give up on it. I mean, I understand with like
Oh,
this
no.
election and everything, but I'm a brand new libertarian voter. As of 2016 was the first time I ever voted libertarian, and I'm not unique at all. There's tons of people. It's the fastest growing party, even though the party sucks. So I don't know. It's just it's a long game, I guess, and we've been playing it for a long time.
And I didn't vote libertarian this time. I was actually not going to vote for any president
Yeah,
because I couldn't see Joe Jorgensen's platform coming into earning my vote. I don't vote for party. I vote for people.
right.
And I looked at it and I weighed the spending of Trump versus the tax cuts because the spending still pisses me off. And I
Yeah.
weighed the Fourth Amendment, the Fourth Amendment violation of renewing the Patriot Act versus the fact that the leftists in this country have lost their ever-loving fucking minds.
Yeah.
And I decided that, yes, I'm going to vote for that I'm going to vote for Trump. But I did it at the very, very last second.
Yeah, I had Trump picked from the beginning because, quite frankly, there just ain't nobody else that's going to fight this war. There's nobody else. You find me somebody, and that would impress the hell out of me that you actually found somebody that could do what he's done and also possess the stroke that he has. He has that charisma. People know who he is. Like he's not just some guy. Like most people don't have no fucking idea who Joe Jorgensen is. Like you say that name to them, they have no clue.
Isn't that an anime
Ready for
character?
This one, the fourth guy running. I don't even know his fucking name.
That's Seawall.
Howie
I
Hawkins.
recognize that mask anywhere. Recognize that boogaloo gear anywhere.
Already
It's
prepped for
airsoft
tonight,
gear.
huh?
Yeah. He's ready, man.
I can go
Halloween
grab my,
again.
I can go grab my M60 from downstairs. That makes you feel better.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So, update on
Unfortunately,
the
only
election
fires
right
as-
now. There are 3 states that are reporting as of right now, according to Google's election tracker, and all 3 of them are tinted red. New Hampshire is 1% reporting at there are 26 votes counted in New Hampshire, but
Yep.
16 for Trump.
The Kentucky light blue was a mirage. It was just some of the blue counties getting in early.
I'll get your blue counties in early.
Got him.
Jesus, it's only 1% reporting, but Trump has New Hampshire at 61%.
There are
Wow.
only 26 votes in.
Right.
Technically, yeah, but it's fucking New Hampshire. There's what, 400 votes, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do
No,
wanna
believe it
point-
or not, the culture up there. I don't know about the structure on how they handle their elections, but the culture is pro-Trump all the way. The wife
Oh,
and I,
yeah?
we frequent New Hampshire for vacations. We go up there once a year, and that's a patriotic community up there.
Yep.
it is
And
like-
that would never affect them. All right.
I want to point something back out there, though, something that the R-rated conservative said way back at the beginning of his conversation here. You said that Massachusetts isn't even going to give you a tally until tomorrow or further out than that.
I figure April.
But I do know the government structure of Massachusetts, and they are not shy about giving you the tallywhacker, at least.
Oh yeah. And they'll shove it right in with no lube. What are you doing?
The most wholesome thing on the RRC podcast, right there.
Yep, this is Gemma. She's a
She
good
loves
girl.
you.
You're a pain in the ass, and your breath smells like a dumpster, but you're a good girl. Right? You gonna get down now? Oh, you get offended by that? Get the fuck out of here now. All right. Good dog.
So I assume that you voted for Biden, Seawall?
Hold on, let me show you.
With all that gear on, probably.
See this little flag? Which flag does this represent?
That's
That is-
Pakistan.
Am I allowed to say that online?
Pakistan,
Yeah, I think so.
aka the Dominion in favor of Trump.
Okay.
Also, I'm not wearing black. I'm wearing green. Since when does Antifa wear? Well, technically it's brown green, but hey.
Yeah.
I'm really curious to see what happens down there in DC. And just before you guys all popped on and John was here with we actually got to see some of what's going on down in downtown on DC in a place that I've only ever seen in Fallout 3.
Has Steven gotten to his bunker? I'm a little
No,
worried
he's out in
for
the
him.
streets right now.
Oof.
Jesus Christ.
He
Yeah.
is on. He's
So,
on Black Lives Matter Plaza right now. That's where he's streaming from.
So if Steven doesn't make it, who gets the keytar?
Dibs.
That thing's amazing.
No,
Yeah.
the player is amazing.
Yeah, he is really good.
Also, Indiana's still pretty early in reporting, but damn, that advantage Trump's got.
So, Seawall, what do you think about Texas? Is it turning blue?
There's going to be some shenanigans in a couple of the borderline districts to try to get more Democrats on in the House, but it's going to stick red. It's going to be a little bit tighter than it should be.
Okay, so and you do acknowledge that it's turning more and more blue. Is that probably because there's a lot of Californians that are moving in?
Well, the thing is, the Californians that are voting blue are quarantining themselves in specific areas.
Right, so like cities?
The rest of them turn out to be a lot of business owners from California. So you can imagine how they vote.
Hopefully, I
Well,
can.
yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah.
You're
never
putting
know,
a lot of
though.
faith in Californians at that point.
yeah. You talk about people who love to be oppressed. I mean,
Give me more government, Daddy.
yeah.
That's the ultra wealthy and the poor. The only people that are coming to Texas are basically the middle class.
Yeah.
What remains of it.
I want to catch up with a little bit of the chat here because these guys and some of these questions are coming out for you guys as well. Abram
Right.
Sendrick said Biden's leading in Kentucky. That has changed at this point. Ron needs another beer. Damkin and Kentucky need to pull their heads out of their ass, get out there and vote. Watching trains go by says Trump hits between 297 and 323 tonight. Seawall says 13% reporting. Silent Caster says, well, the question is, would she antagonize them like Trump does? Because, yeah, that is another part of the factor, is he is He's bringing a lot of this on himself
Yeah.
because he has
He's
no
definitely
problem
bringing-
getting down in the ring with them.
But see, so we're talking about Joe Jorgensen, right?
Yeah.
Would she? So we know that she's capable, at least, because of that. What we just talked about earlier about the hashtag I'm with her. So we know
Okay,
she's capable.
breaking out of Kentucky, they're already calling it for Trump
Nice.
Wow.
at 15%. He's got 52.6% of the vote at 15%. They've already counted the only blue areas, which is Lexington, so
Okay. Cool.
and a couple other random counties.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's much of a surprise, though.
Yeah.
Nah, it doesn't surprise me in the least.
I mean, it's not exactly.
Where the hell are they calling 3 for Biden?
That
Have
is
they
a
already
good
called New
question.
York and California?
No, there's only
Oh.
3 that are called for him, but I don't see it on the map either. You are absolutely correct. Unless
Wow.
they're just saying DC, but there's no results in that. But yeah, there's 3
Well,
to Biden, 8
DC's
to
only
Trump.
got 1.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It is only 1.
So, did Joe get the handicap for every 5 votes Trump gets? They get 3. A little 3/5 compromise right there.
Come on, man.
Safety blanket.
Joe's got enough handicaps.
Vermont. They called Vermont
Yeah.
for Biden with 0% reporting. That's where the 3 came in.
Wow.
Bernie looked at the bottom of his pudding, and at the bottom was a picture of Biden. That's how they decided.
I guess Sticks didn't vote hard enough. All right, everybody. We're going to talk about Vermont and how much it sucks, but how much I'm going to continue to live there.
Right.
Okay, so I'm looking at this right now. What was it? It's sorry, not Indiana. It's Iowa and New Hampshire. It looks like New Hampshire, though very little has been reported, is leaning Trump from the swing. Florida's leaning red. Jesus, almost
Lean right into
60% for Trump.
Good.
Good.
But
Only
they
one
haven't
county
counted
reporting,
Miami and
though.
Jacksonville yet.
Yeah.
All right, I want to catch up with a little bit more of this here. Watching Trains Go By says, good point. He went after them just as hard, not as dirty. Yeah, we talked about that. Abron says, yeah, why do you think Biden's the DNC's pick? Dude's a babbling old man, easy to puppet and control. Kentucky just turned red again for the moment. No, they called that one. Too early to get excited about these 1% and 13% returns, but I live for that roller coaster rush. The Freckles and Brit Show is watching over on Periscope and says, oh my. Watching Trains Go By says, where's the wife tonight? R-rated. Is she working?
You're muted,
his
all right.
mic.
Yeah, I figured that. Yeah, she's got the night off tonight. She hurt her shoulder yesterday, so she's kind of taking it easy
Okay.
and just she's chilling out, and she'll be sitting with me later on when we start getting the final counts for the election. For right now, she's just relaxing.
And you
She
guys
can
are
only
welcome
take
to
so
pop back
much.
in for that too, by the way.
Was that?
You guys are welcome to pop back in for that too, by the way.
Most likely will.
Yeah, I'll probably come back on for the D-Live exclusive portion later on.
Yeah, because I'm going to be watching the reactions of some of the crybabies out there on the news, like the young turds.
Oh God, the cope is already real.
Oh, is
I
it?
can already
Look at
see the
Nate Silver's
sweat pouring
timeline.
off of junk anger.
Oh, you should have seen pictures of Nate Silver. He looks like he just got off of a fucking Hunter Biden 16-hour crack binge. I mean,
Oh, if Anna Kasparian, like, she just loses it on the air and starts ripping her hair out and cutting herself, that would be fucking amazing. I swear to God.
oh, you know
I'd
what?
pay to
I
see
would love
that.
to hear. I would love to hear her. What I would love to see her do, just yell at Chank. Would you do it already? Would you end my people, end my suffering already?
Oh,
Yeah, really.
Oh, come on.
Oh, come on! It's been over
That's a good
100
one.
years. It's been over 100 years.
Oh, Susan, I disavow. I disavow with every fiber of my being.
I'm all in for that shit. That's fun.
That was funny, yeah.
The Freckles and Brit Show says, if Seawall says he voted for Biden, I'm calling for help because that's an SOS.
No, I voted for the God Emperor. I voted for the God Emperor in Texas.
Chilaga says, Seawall, good to see you.
Howdy, Chilago.
Abron Centric asks a really good question, and now that I've got 3 of you one of whom is a libertarian voter, and the other two who are firmly in the Trump camp at this point. What are your guys' thoughts on the whispers of a red mirage? People are saying that we're going to think it's a Trump win, but it'll go to Biden after they count all the mail-in votes.
That's
So
a media tactic.
Exactly, because the
that's
thing
all it
is, suddenly at I think place like Pennsylvania, there's going to be, like 70, 80, 90% for Biden packages of votes. And the thing is, they've sworn they're going to separate those votes that come in late from the rest of them. I think they're going to fuck up to try to hide it. But the problem is it's going to be so blatant and so messed up with so few signatures that can be validated that even the Supreme Court's going to go, I'm sorry, Pennsylvania, you've screwed the pooch so much, we're going to have to throw out all of the mail-in votes for Pennsylvania.
Shut up.
All of them.
Get out of here.
No, I refuse to do that. I'm going to stay right goddamn here because I'm a goddamn American.
You know what an entertaining show would be on YouTube and DLive and everything else? Seawall on the R-rated conservative, the two of them going back and forth. For 2 hours, or however long the show is. An
Yeah,
hour.
that would be fun.
Oh! By the end of it, will be by the end of the night, we'll be goose stepping our way to the closest beer hall.
There you go. Either that or a pot dispensary, one or the other.
Well, there's something you didn't think you'd ever see in something like this here. 1% reporting Virginia is leaning red.
Well, let's check what I'm checking. Yeah, it's one of the outlying counties that
Okay.
probably going to go for Trump anyway.
Even still.
I'm expecting Virginia to flip red.
Really?
After
I
what
think
they've
Virginia's
gone
a
through
long
and their
shot.
governor, the way he's betrayed them, the five big ones, I'm expecting all of them to flip red. The only one that I have a toss up with is with New York or California. One of them is going to flip red. I'm not sure which one, but I know one of them has. After what their governor has done to them and the Democrat establishment that has had that iron grip on each of those states for all these years, I say 4 out of 5 of those are going to flip. They're going to flip red.
I
most
think
likely
it's
one
too
would be New York.
entrenched in New York and California. I don't think either of them are flipping. But they're going to be a lot closer, and it's going to cause a few Democrats to, get their panties in a bunch, going, oh, "Holy crap, these might be in play in a couple cycles."
Well, I mean, who'd ever thought Minnesota could have gone that way? Because I would have never thought in my 36 years that I would have said, "Oh, Minnesota? Maybe." I would have thought deep blue, deep Union Minnesota would have always been a stranglehold of the Democrats.
The Iron Mountain endorsed Trump. The Democrat mayors of Iron Mountain
And
endorsed Trump.
like I mentioned on your show on Saturday, and the Democrats are kind of abandoned the unions, with who they were
the
huge
private
for
sector,
beforehand.
the private sector unions, they haven't abandoned public sector with the exception of cops.
Right? Yeah, that's fair. But my point was that Trump has been going hard after the unions because he knows it's a weak spot for Democrats now. So there's a good chance that he's flipped a lot of union votes that would otherwise just automatically go Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of a lot of union leadership is still pretty pro-Democrat, but a lot of the rank and file guys are going like, "Oh crap, I overheard the managers talking that they're going to be shipping our shit over to China," and they're going hardcore for Trump because the thing is, the union can't stop a layoff if they're just shutting the entire factory down. They can't strike at that point; it's game over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. I mean, I watched my dad's job leave the country. He went to Turkey this past year. I watched that happen, and I know that the fact that it went there, that means that the union people are going to be in play for the protectionism.
Yeah.
Because they're actually doing it. They're actually going through with it.
Yeah.
Let's see, we got more chat here. These guys are awesome as well, and you guys are awesome. Abram Cendric says maybe it was from other votes in Kentucky. Never mind. Abram Cendric says, let's go Florida. Watching trains go by said, I knew that blue shirt wasn't an accident. I don't know what you mean by that, but let's see.
Just give you a heads up. Florida is currently reporting at just under 10%, 9%. Trump is at 55%.
Now, do they have Miami-Dade and Duval County yet? Do you know?
Which one is Duval?
Jacksonville.
They haven't reported on those yet, but Yeah, they haven't counted on those ones yet.
Those are the ones that are most likely to go blue, are those two cities.
Well, I've been hearing that in the early voting, Biden is only ahead by a point or two in Miami-Dade. He's basically nice edge for early voting.
Probably all the Cubans not wanting to be communists again.
Yeah. Vermont's still at 0%, by the way. They're calling Vermont already. With
Yeah,
0%.
we said that. When you said where did those 3 votes come from, that's
Yeah.
where I said that came from Vermont.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What else do we have here? Watching trains go by says, damn, wish her well. So I'm guessing that is for the Mrs. RRC over there.
Yep.
Who is the guy with the backwards hat? That is the R-rated conservative. From
Oh,
Pete the
he knows
Patriot.
who I am, Pete the Patriot, you smart ass.
Welcome on in, Pete the Patriot.
Shut up.
I
you
can
gonna
really
be
feel
safe?
the
Do
love
we
in
need
that
to send
house.
help? I heard that.
Light those candles now, fellas.
What's the price down to at this point?
Yeah.
Oh, also, for the Biden fans and also possibly us, if things go completely tits up on our asses, just want to show something really quick.
Oh yeah.
The left is probably going to need that one, but there's always a possibility we'll need it.
What was it? 3418.
Yep, Psalm 34:18. I think it's.
I'll read it.
Blessed
verbatim.
are the bro. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
New International Version. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit.
Yep. One side's going to need it tonight.
Yeah, one side
Yeah.
is going to need it either way.
And I have a feeling I know who it is. I'll give you a hint. It's a lot of them have the females that own a lot of cats and scream a lot.
Yeah.
Springfield?
Yeah. So if you're out there tonight and you see someone with some blue hair, just give them a hug. They need it. Make sure you wear a mask, of course. Got to be safe.
Yeah,
That reminded me of
and make sure you
Steven's
carry hand sanitizer. You never know what they're carrying on them.
That's true.
I'll be wearing my fucking hazmat suit.
There you go.
I'm not gonna lie. I do have a DIY hazmat suit. I got a Tychem suit and a 3M mask downstairs.
There you go. I'd like to get a full blown spacesuit.
Hell
Can't
yeah.
get much better than that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
give them all spacesuits because they want to live in total they want to be completely safe from the virus. They got to have a completely sealed spacesuit, no oxygen tank, just the spacesuit.
Oh, disavow.
Peter the Patriot's asking, does the guy on the top left know something we don't? I know many things. Many things.
Watching trains go by says Michigan earlier this afternoon. Someone said they'd already held almost 77,000 ballots as spoiled, which I think that's going to play into what happens with this election is ballots that can't be accepted because of a signature mismatch or any other number of things. Excuse me, I got hiccups now.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that and the way that the mail-in ballots are handled?
Fucking mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
You can't even expect the postal service to properly deliver you a regular letter. You're going to expect them to handle millions upon millions of mail-in ballots and the same government structure that couldn't even build a proper website to launch Obamacare. I understand Trump's been in power and he's made a lot of improvements, but he would need 5 terms in order to fix every fucking thing that's wrong with our government. And I'm not even talking about corruption. Corruption is just part of it. I'm talking about the complete ineptitude which things are run with. This whole handling of the ballots and everything, between the fraud and just plain mismanagement, because these people will fuck up a cup of coffee. That's how bad they are. They've always been. The government, one thing you ever want to do, if you want to guarantee something to get fucked up, put it into government control. They will fuck it up every single time that's the one thing they don't fail at is failing.
There is one program that I can cite in all of government history that didn't fuck up and did everything right and actually exceeded expectations. And that was the British rationing of World War II. They literally had the perfect storm of the right man at the right place at the right time with the right mindset of the people.
Well, yeah, that's Britain. I'm talking about America. America's undefeated when it comes to fucking up. No question about that. Like at one point, we got lucky when things started to turn around for World War II because the first, I don't know if people remember, the first 2.5 years, we got our asses kicked bad. Like I didn't. If you go back and you read the story, we shouldn't have won. It was almost by a miracle that we won. Well, and it was a combination of Britain doing the right thing. Britain was stellar during World War II.
Oh, yeah.
United States at first, not so much, but then they got with the program, and then
British
became.
tank production was a fucking clown car. Nothing was standardized. Every tank was basically, you know, each line of tank was their own production. No standardized parts between them. Basically, the U.S. had one big thing going for it. Our industrial base was completely safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was basically no way for the Germans and the Japanese to get to the industrial base. At worst, the Japanese might have been able to take Hawaii, maybe. And if they did that, how long do you think they could actually hold it for?
Not long.
Exactly.
As long as it takes to get the Atlantic Fleet around over there. That's
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, we made our blunders in North Africa, and then we figured it shit out before D-Day.
Yeah. We did manage to pull it together and win one of the most important things in the world. But I got to say, even during peacetime, just the little things that we do, the little programs we set up, almost everything we have ever done as a government, we have fucked it up.
So wait, when was the last time we were actually in peacetime? I mean, I'm trying to think back. There really wasn't a time.
Pre-World War I.
Yeah, that's about it. And even then, we still had, what was it, the Spanish-American War before that.
Then we also had the Great White Fleet, gunship diplomacy, the Monroe Doctrine.
Yeah.
Speak softly, carry a big stick.
That's been peacetime in America since we started? I don't think so.
Well, plus since I would say this year has been one of the most peaceful years we've ever had. Most people don't realize Trump is the first president in 10 presidents that has not started a war.
Yeah.
100%. Except against the fucking establishment. That's the only war he's kicked up.
Right.
Look, if Trump gets the chance, he's going to chuck a lighter into the swamp to let the swamp gas light to burn itself. Come on, Trump, throw the fucking lighter. After this election is done, whether you win or lose, just declassify everything.
Yes.
Go nuclear. Just declassify everything. Send the establishment into such a tailspin that Biden can't do anything.
Oh, if he did that, I would just eat crow and be like, all right, I should have voted for Trump.
He should do it. Either way, he should do that.
Yeah.
And then we just look at you, John. Damn it.
Yep, and I would agree, too. If he did that, I'd be like, all right, fair enough. He's more libertarian than libertarian president or candidate. All right.
He should be preparing all of that now because he should declass everything. Everything that they've done for the last 15 years, he should declass everything we have about 9/11. He should declass everything about Vietnam, going all the way back to JFK.
Okay.
Declass and unredact everything.
Okay, looks like we're getting reports out of Florida. It's swung to Joe 51.1% to Trump's 48.2%, but Tallahassee, Jacksonville, Tampa, and Miami are all reporting. Orlando and pretty much everywhere else have not reported yet.
See, Orlando could go either way.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure which way that's going to go.
Trump's behind by about 150,000 votes.
Ooh.
Also, West Palm Beach hasn't reported yet.
West Palm Beach is going red big time this year. That whole county.
Yeah. Look, we're at 44%, and Florida's going to be a close one. If Trump loses Florida, it's pretty much over. Also, Georgia, it just flipped blue, but we're only at 3%.
Well, there's some fuckery going on. It's Florida. We recount every time.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a recount.
48%, Trump is losing ground. Orlando's flipping. It looks like Orlando's flipping blue.
Blame Disney for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, we haven't seen Palm Beach, but again, we don't know how much has been reported out of those areas. Look, as I said, if Florida flips blue and locks in, it's very hard for Trump to win.
Mm-hmm.
It means the polling may have gotten Florida right.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I mean, especially if you're talking about like Tallahassee, like anywhere in the Panhandle and on
Tallahassee's
the border.
blue.
Oh, really? Damn.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of good old boys up there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But damn, yeah.
Look, Florida is one of the keys Trump has to get. If he
Yeah, I
doesn't
know.
get it, game, set, and match. I don't think there is a path to victory without Florida.
I think you're right, but I mean, we're only at 3%. We gotta. It's like Yogi Berra said, it ain't over till it's over.
Yeah, Florida's
right.
at 48%. It's about halfway done.
Oh shit.
But again, all of the big counties reported in. A lot of the small counties haven't reported.
Right.
So,
And the small counties are where you're gonna have your good old boys
yeah.
in the country.
Yeah.
But then you also got to
Basically,
think,
only Tallahassee and one other county in the Panhandle has voted, has reported. So, yeah, we're still at the early enough 52%. Damn, Biden's still kind of holding this lead at 52. So they're definitely getting the votes in. So it's hard to say with Florida.
But again, there's going to be a recount.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Florida.
Well, okay. Wait, hold it. Yeah, well, the thing is, he's almost 4 points ahead in Florida. That it's far enough that they probably won't do a recount.
Maybe
That's
not the
one of
whole
the things
state.
too to go with too is what the recounts are and what they come out with for.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the
Yeah. So yeah, Florida's at 52%. Trump is behind by 4 points, so that's not good.
No.
Again, a lot of the smaller counties haven't reported yet. There probably is a lot of votes in those, so who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, no candidates won since the 60s without Florida.
Definitely be something to watch here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's check in with the chat here and just see what's going on with that. The Freckles and Brit Show says RRC is sounding mighty libertarian right now when we were talking about the post office. Ron Helton says the USPS is fading away, online billing and payments. They keep raising the postage rate and keep putting themselves out of business. Watching Trains Go By says Arab oil helped win that war too. Too many deals made for it. Ron says Democrats complaining that they couldn't deliver the ballots when the USPS is basically dissolving from lack of business volume. Watching Trains Go By says 150,000, I believe he holds Florida. And Abraham Sendrick said the same thing. Seawall that no candidate since the 60s has won without Florida. And Watching Trains Go By says there's more red counties in Florida than blue, though. It's almost double the counties for Trump, with about 12
but
to
look at the
15 left to
population,
post.
though.
Yeah.
I know the cities, if the cities are going for Biden, then there's not much the outlying counties can do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Again, West Palm might help flip it. Trump only needs to overcome about 200,000 votes. That's the lead that's in Florida. So basically, in the outlying counties, if Trump scores big in those, he could do it.
Yeah.
I'm going to score the biggest, the best. I'm going to
You
score.
very well could. You very well could, because I mean, you know, as long as they, like I said before, as long as they put
It's narrowing. It's just over 3 points now, so it's starting to narrow a little bit at 53%. So basically, Florida is one of the ones to watch. New Hampshire, they're saying it's at 1% right now, and they're saying 72% for Biden. But that's like only one county reporting in nearby Manchester. So that's kind of obvious.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at Politico right now. That gap is narrowing again. Now we're at 48 to 50. Biden's down to 50 and Trump's at 48.
Yeah. Florida's going to be a tight one. So as time goes on, it's going to tighten up.
It always is.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
Florida, man.
Florida's always fucked. I mean,
Florida,
just go down to Broward County. Most corrupt fucking elections in
doesn't
America.
Broward County have a special oversight committee now,
Yeah.
Special
independent of the
oversight,
town?
Yeah.
Trump's ahead in Virginia.
which is amazing.
Yeah. But again, it's only 1% reporting. But Richmond is reporting. Areas around Richmond are reporting. So
New Hampshire flipped, as we thought that it
Uh,
might.
yeah, but that for now it's only 1% reporting.
Yeah, I think this one might wind up being a nail biter. I do think that it's still
Yeah.
going to go Trump.
But it might be narrow enough that the Democrats can pull a stink.
Yeah.
Or again, it's hard to say. Texas is going to be hard to read because they've probably been fucking with the polling quite a bit to try to demoralize the Republicans of the state.
Georgia, I'm a little surprised by.
Georgia only has, what is it, 4%
4%.
reporting.
Yeah.
So it's so early that it's going to be wacky. 56 out of Florida. Trump is still behind by 1 point. Sorry, it's almost. It's what was it? It's 2.3 points.
It's narrowing, yeah, but with the city
No,
coming
it's
in,
it's narrowing a
sense.
bit, but yeah, it's hard to say.
yeah. So, I mean, I can see all those cities. I'm kind of surprised with Tallahassee, but I guess not. It's a college town. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're right about all the outlying counties going red because
Yeah.
that's kind of how it is. Like you're in
Yeah.
Florida, you're either in the city or you're in the
1.9.
country. In between.
It's narrowing it. Basically, it's going to continue to narrow as the big cities put their votes in. They skew it, and then we start seeing the outlying counties tighten it up.
Yeah.
So there is hope. It's just it's got a decent amount Trump's got to overcome in the next 44% of the vote.
The thing is, like, I don't know, with Ron DeSantis he's done really, really well
Yeah.
since he's been governor. So I don't know. I mean, I can see people going that way.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, if Florida flips to Trump, likely Trump victory at the end of the night.
Yeah.
If it goes to Biden, likely Biden victory. It's kind of the short way to put it.
Yeah.
Ron says Florida has a lot of Jews who have retired there. Most will vote for Trump.
That's true.
Yeah.
We'll
I don't know
see.
about voting for Trump, but that is true.
Tightened up again. We're at 1.7.
Chilaga 1984 says Thomas Massey won. I'm moving to Kentucky.
Yep. Trump only has to overcome about 100,000 votes now.
I'm going to read what Watching Trains Go By said, but I am going to disavow it in advance. Watching Trains Go By says they should have nuked Broward County when they discovered the rat's nest. Disavow.
I'm all in for that as well.
Disavow.
The only good thing I'll say about Broward County is it makes really good episodes of cops. That's it. That's
Have
it.
trains go by?
Yeah,
Would you like to run the trains for me, yeah? Why would you like to run the trains for me, yeah?
All right, I've got dinner coming too. Sweet. I love Eat
Your
Street.
is your future wife gonna be the one delivering it?
Well, it is Mexican food or Mexican food.
Oh boy.
Hispanic style food.
I got Qdoba from Eat Street, so
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Broward County's flipping red.
Ooh, oh, that's definitely gonna, that's definitely gonna trigger a recount or something. I don't know, man. They're gonna try and fuck that over.
I demand a recount. I demand it. How dare you call it the way that I don't
Also,
want
a
to see
quick
it
question:
called.
Broward County. That's the county in the bottom, basically at the bottom of it, left of Miami, right? That little slice.
I think it's a little more west and north. I don't know. I'm not up on my Florida geography.
How dare you?
I know.
Yeah.
I've actually never
how
been
can you
to
be a
Broward
good
County,
Florida
but-
man if you're not up on your Florida geography?
Oh yeah,
I've
Broward
never
County's
been to
north of
Florida.
Miami. My bad. Yeah, they're the
Okay,
block north
yeah.
of Miami. I was looking at the one left of Miami. Thought that was Broward County. That one went red.
Yeah, I knew it was a little bit north of that because there's not much
Yeah.
near Miami. Miami-Dade is pretty much the little Marita right there.
Trump's behind by 1.6. Again, it's less than 100,000 votes. Or sorry, it's just over 100,000 votes for Trump to flip it. So it's going to be tight, boys.
Yeah.
What about the Jorgensen effect?
He's a meme. She's not getting many votes. I think she's so far getting less votes
Yeah, if
than libertarians
Trump
last
loses-
time.
If Trump loses,
35,000.
then you can blame me.
Trump is also behind in Georgia, but again, we're only at 4% reporting. I mean, that's because Atlanta's kind of getting some of its stuff in right now.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also a couple other southern counties that are nearby. Weirdly enough, nothing blue. The blue counties in southern Georgia, there's nothing blue nearby them. So those are weird ones.
Huh.
Oh, 1.5, boys. Trump is within 100,000 votes.
I have the best votes, the greatest votes.
Or okay, roughly 105,000 is currently what Trump's behind in Florida.
105,000 of the greatest votes in the history of our country.
They're calling West Virginia for Trump at 0% reporting.
Yeah, well, I'm not
West
surprised.
fucking Virginia.
Yeah.
Mountain Mama.
Yeah, they ain't screwing around out there. They want their jobs.
They
They're
want to
tired
sell
of
that
being
coal,
poor
man.
and living in houses with dirt floors in
Oh
them.
ho ho!
They wanna
Guys,
keep you in the
Trump is
focus
under
system,
100,000 behind Biden. 1.2%. Come on, Florida. Do us proud. Do it, Texas. Become an honorary Texas. Vote Trump.
I'll beat
We'll
your
even be
honorary
nice and let you
Texas.
join the best time zone. We'll even be nice and let you join the best time zone in Central.
Oh, no, that's not true at all. I think RRC is with me, Eastern Time, best time zone.
But you got to share a time zone with New York City and Andrew Cuomo.
Ah,
Yeah,
monkey
man.
tits. Yes. Yes, we share time with monkey tits.
You know,
With
Though
the
I have to share a time zone with fucking Beetlejuice. So
Ugh. Oh,
yeah,
Deadfoot.
that's true,
Yep.
too.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
only like a couple hours away from here.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah, is she up for election this year, that fucking gangrenous twat?
no, she is not.
No, she's not.
Wait, why are you censoring yourself? Why don't you tell us how you really feel?
heads up, guys. Trump's ahead in the popular vote right now.
Yeah, I see that.
No shit, really.
Yeah,
'Cause
still
that
early
would
in
be
the election, but damn.
I'm
Well,
surprised
they haven't
called
started counting all those
California
dead votes yet.
yeah,
Those are for
That's
later
true.
on, when they get far enough behind.
Palm Beach just reported in. It just jumped Biden a little bit. Trump's down by 2.6 now,
Oh,
but it's just under 200,000 votes. So, yeah.
yet. Gentlemen, I will be right back.
Don't you dare.
yeah. Florida's gonna be like always, a nail biter, like you guys were saying before.
Yeah.
Fucking, oh man,
Was last time.
it always is.
Yeah. Yeah. Virginia still. Virginia might actually flip red. It's only at 3%, but it's looking that way.
I mean, I remember when I was in 5th grade and W was about to become president, and I had to do like some school project, and it was like 11:30, and they were like, Florida's recounting again, and my parents were like, all right, you got to go to bed. You can finish the project tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, we've always done that, as long as I know, at least as long as I've known.
Chilligan, I was wearing a mask before it was fucking cool because I do airsoft.
I'm an airsoft badass, actually. So,
I was wearing this shit back in 2019, bro.
Oh, shit, that gap just widened in Florida again.
Yep.
oh fuck! Don't.
Nope. Wait, no. Yeah. Yeah, it widened a little bit when we jumped up to. Yeah, we're at 60% reporting. It widened to just under 200,000 votes, 180,000 roughly.
Damn.
But again, that was because Palm Beach reported.
Yeah.
So, again, if they call Florida for if it's clear that Florida goes Biden, chances of victory are pretty low.
Yeah.
Is it possible if he picks up things like Pennsylvania? Yeah, but the problem is it kind of shows the way the wind's blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's going to pick up Pennsylvania, though. He hit it really hard in the last week or so.
West Virginia's calling it for Trump. So that's another 5 little votes for him.
Yay.
Indiana, Trump's way ahead, even at 11%.
How many votes is that?
Indiana's 11.
All right. That's good. I mean, it's not terrible.
Virginia's
It's not
still
bad.
early. So yeah, Florida's still looking a little grim. It's narrowed a little bit again. It's down to 120,000 votes again. So basically, I think it was Palm Beach threw off the metrics again.
Yeah.
So basically, it was just Palm Beach dumping because we got another 3% of the vote, another 3% reporting.
But if it keeps going that way, there's not much a percentage left. You know,
Well,
that-
it's down to
that-
1.4. It's down to 1.4, and again, a lot of outlying counties
Yeah.
have not been counted yet.
Yeah.
Trump only needs just over 110,000 to flip it, which he might pick up in the outlying counties.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Watching trains go by says, did I hear right today? H. Clinton is an elector now and could have to end up voting for Trump if her state loses.
She'll shoot herself in the head first.
Who are you talking about?
Hillary Clinton apparently is an elector.
Which state is she in?
As far as I know, she lives in New York.
You know, she would if New York somehow went Trump, she would be a faithless elector.
Yeah, 100%.
And either
There's
be
no way she's
replaced
gonna
or they
cast
wouldn't
that
punish her for it.
Chilaga
Right.
says, I can tell Seawall's been wearing a mask because he's comfortable with that face covered.
Yeah.
Wear the mask. Like
Yeah,
you've
dude,
done
you should
before.
go shopping like that.
Oh my God, that would be great.
I'm pretty sure he has.
You might actually get,
Close.
you might actually
Close. I
accidentally
have
get a,
worn the top and the pants, just not the helmet and the mask.
Oh, you gotta wear the helmet and the mask.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yeah. Face coverings required.
It is 1.4 right now between Trump and Biden. It's still pretty narrow at about 112,000 vote difference.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna head out real quick. I'm gonna charge my phone up, and I'll be back later on.
See ya.
You probably won't make it back before I cut the stream to go for the next one, though. So we will see you in the next one.
Yeah, that's fine. Will it be the same Zoom link?
Yes, I'm going to leave the call open. So
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna head out myself.
Okay.
I
All right,
will.
cool.
I should be checking back in with you guys later on.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks for hanging out with you again, RC.
Likewise, brother. Peace, guys.
All right. Yeah, I'll see you guys.
Take care. And then there were two. So now I can ask you some questions about what went on in your mind. And like I said, you did vote for Biden, correct?
No,
Like
I
you went to
voted
Lemass
Trump.
Square?
I voted. 102,000 votes, and Trump flips it in Florida.
Well, I want to take some time and expand on what you were talking about on the call-in show this past weekend, as well as, I mean, what do you expect to see? What do you expect to see for the rest of the night based on the numbers that you're seeing pouring in right now? First off,
Look, Florida is going to be the thing that's telling me a lot, and it is tight. Assuming Florida flips Trump because it's mainly outlying counties that are still reporting, getting a report in, then likely Trump gets the votes he needs based on the current trajectory. He wins Florida by about a point, maybe a point and a half if he's really lucky.
they
With
just
that,
flipped Virginia proper to Biden with 4% in.
but I'm looking at it right now. I mean, Jesus Christ, 4% in, Trump is ahead. I mean, it's only 4% reporting. I guess Richmond has a lot of votes, but the problem is everything else is turning red. So I don't know what's going on. I've got a feeling that's gonna reverse. And Joe Biden is way behind in the popular vote right now by about 200,000 votes. So.
But my popular vote.
Well, if he loses the popular vote and Trump wins, if Biden loses both the Electoral College and the popular vote, the fucking cope is going to be amazing. All of the salt.
Yeah, I mean, we do see the fact that there's going to be 75 billion votes coming out of California
Yeah.
for their 57 million people.
Yeah. I'm still keeping an eye on Florida. It's still being stubborn, about 145,000 votes now. So Biden widened it a bit again.
It's interesting to watch.
Yeah. They're
Grant
fucking
said
teasing
fun
us.
survey from New York Times about first names and who they vote for. Karens are riding with Biden.
Shouldn't that be proof that we need to elect the other guy?
Harvey says, I know a guy named Richard that totally did vote for Trump. Actually, so do I.
Yeah. So yeah.
This is
North
gonna-
Carolina is also a swing state, so
I'll swing your state.
you're not swinging Texas.
Apparently, it's MAGA night in the Matt and Blonde voice channel,
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
but we're not going there.
Well, it's
But-
not really a roller coaster. It's just, yeah, Trump is now at 1.6 over 200,000 votes. I'm thinking it's just because a lot of those big counties are still putting votes in.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a while. But the problem is that's an almost insurmountable thing at this point.
I didn't expect any of these states to start reporting this early. That's been the surprise for me.
Yeah. I think either they got heads up that Biden is doing better or they want to rip the Band-Aid off quick. There we go. Now Virginia's tightening the race. I think it was just early county voting, which was the problem.
Yeah, that could be. It's going to be interesting
Yeah.
to watch, and it's going to be even more interesting to sit back and watch this again as we get down and more states start coming in. I almost don't want to
Yeah.
cut the stream for the second part, but I do want to watch video of, like I said, Cenk and the CNBC people
Oh,
and
yeah.
Maddow. If they do start to collapse
6%
and cry.
reporting. Oh, that's why. Out of Ohio, I was saying it's not looking good for Trump. And I went, oh, wait. It's Columbus and Cincinnati that are reporting early. And those always go blue. So definitely worried about Florida, though, because it's a 1.7% difference, 105,000 votes roughly.
Well, yeah,
Sorry,
you've been-
150,000 votes.
You've been like watching on the ground parts of the race too, so that's been nice to see. It's been easy to come down and see what's reporting, where's reporting, and how that goes. I'm interested to see how Toledo and Cleveland go. I'm frankly interested to see what happens in Wisconsin, but honestly, I know that no matter what happens, they're going to find enough votes in a bin somewhere after the fact and say, "Oh, look, it's just over 1%, no recount,"
Yep.
because they've done it in the last 2 elections straight.
Well, maybe third time is the one that get caught.
I don't know.
Florida is definitely the one I'm worried about right now. It's a 1.6% difference in voting. It's a decent amount of votes Trump has to overcome. 150,000 roughly. Again, there are several outlying counties that haven't voted yet, but yeah. Harvey McLeod, it's probably based on current trends. Florida might go to Biden just because we're at 76% and he's up by a point.
I don't know. This is a little bit weirded out for me here. Irene over on Twitter says, "Do we actually know for sure that Biden won Virginia? I mean, didn't the polls just close like 9 minutes ago? And that was 33 minutes ago that she posted that."
Yeah. Georgia is starting to report. Yeah. Yeah, I know the trends were similar in 2016 that broke late for Trump, but the problem is Biden is still 1.7 points ahead right now in Florida at 77% reporting. Trump has got a big mountain to climb.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, everything is reporting fairly blue too in the big cities. I'm seeing a lot of red there, but
yeah. Yeah, it's the big cities. Georgia's definitely skewing. It's early in voting, though, for them, so it's hard to say.
yeah, once again, they don't have anywhere near as many counties reported either. I
Yeah.
just popped that up myself.
Yeah, Florida's gotten real good at counting votes because they remember 2000. They don't want a repeat of 2000, so yeah.
Let me change something here. Maybe everyone else can follow along, at least what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Let me look at something here. Yes, I know.
Yeah, again, they're calling they're calling Virginia for Biden, even though he's technically behind in the vote. I think it's because they're seeing a certain trend somewhere. Not everything's been reported yet for vote totals. So
Imagine voting.
yeah,
Just imagine it.
the vote.
The voot, I say.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get this to work.
I mean, it's always possible Trump gets a big influx from somewhere in Florida, but I'm not ready to write it off yet. But I'm definitely saying it's definitely leaning Biden. The polls may have gotten it right where it was like a 1 point in favor of Biden.
Shrink that window up just a little bit here.
Indiana's about a quarter reporting. I'm surprised they haven't called it yet with how much has been in, and the major cities have already voted pretty much. Surprised they haven't called Indiana.
All right, so now the audience can see what we're seeing here and what we're looking at up on the map. So yeah, Virginia's called, West Virginia's called, both fairly low reports, but the exit polling, like you said, is going to go in with that. Kentucky, I don't know, man. Florida, that's going to be the one to watch, and that is going to be the bellwether for this.
Yeah, it's about 100. Yeah, it's stubbornly sitting at about 150,000 votes. What Trump needs. Again, it could be there's a pro-Trump county that breaks hard for him, but it's definitely or it could be that there's some late showings in one of those metropolitan areas.
Now, when they call the metropolitan areas like that, and this may be a little bit of my ignorance on this particularly, when they tint these to the blue or the red, does that mean they're done being called?
that he's leading?
Okay.
Yeah, if you look at Kentucky, you'll see dark red districts. Those are areas that have basically said yes, Trump won, that all the votes have been counted. So it's possible that the Trump voters came in a bit later in Palm Beach and Miami, where it'll help.
I see what you're saying there.
Yeah. Basically, right now in Florida, we're looking at 78% reporting. Trump has about 130,000 votes he needs to pick up somewhere. So it's not looking good in Florida, but again, it's pretty late in the game. So I'm not going to call it for Biden, but it's definitely leaning him right now.
Welcome, Britt.
Hi, what's going on?
We're doing play-by-play of the map as we go along here, and I think Seawall's got a career in sportscasting ahead of him.
I'm happy where I am.
Yeah,
And Trump's not looking so hot in Florida right now. Biden's ahead by about 1.4%, about 140,000 votes. Or sorry, 140,000 votes. It's possible it breaks for Trump late. That's happened before, so.
yeah, this doesn't look great.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot of red there, and Georgia went back the other way again. So.
Well, we're still early in that, 6%.
yeah, who knows? I mean, this is his home state, so that's also like,
Well, he's never been a governor of that state. He's a recent transplant.
yeah. It's still we know he's not getting New York, so
Yeah.
I mean there could be, but at 78% reporting. I mean, I'm like, do I turn on Maddow and watch her gloat, or do I wait? Like, because
Yeah.
do I
And
just
look,
start-
there is a possible path to victory if Trump loses Florida, but again, that would mean that Florida's a weird outlier as a bellwether,
yeah.
which is unlikely.
Well, I think I would say right now, it really, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Florida could have
Wait,
came
hold
down
on.
to the libertarian vote.
Hold on.
Oh,
Florida
I
tightened. Florida tightened. It's now a difference about 60,000 votes.
Yep,
So that means one of the Trump counties just woke up.
yep. And there's
So-
53,000 votes for Joe Jorgensen. So libertarians, next time you think that you're doing something for the third party in this type of year, oh,
As we were just sitting here with somebody who voted Joe Jorgensen.
Well, I mean, you know how I voted, so I basically just said fuck you to the whole America project this year.
Do you want to tell our guest how you voted? Because I don't. He
No,
doesn't
I'm
hang out on
afraid
Twitter,
I'm
so.
afraid he'll jump through the screen.
It's fine. If you voted Joe Jorgensen, I'll
No,
only judge you silently.
I didn't. I live in California.
Oh, did you vote
and-
Biden?
No. I
Libertarians for
live in
Biden.
California, and I know that my vote's going to get opened up by someone that's far left. And so I wrote on my vote 2016's Hillary Clinton because it's the first time that a Democrat could look at a Democrat vote and realize it's completely useless. And that gave me a deep, profound sense of joy.
Look, I like trolling. IRL trolling is one of my favorites. Good job. Because California, we know, is going to break for Biden.
Yeah.
So why not troll it?
Yeah, that's my brother's so mad right now. he's like, there's literally communists marching in the streets of the United States, and you thought that was the way to go? And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I thought it was hilarious, and it's gonna be sad for a long time. So yeah, I wanted to laugh.
Yeah.
That brings me joy.
We need some humor. We need some humor in this. And again, also, Virginia's already being called, though Biden is way behind in the count, which is weird.
Let's see. So, Liberty Anders on Twitter has been out in New Hampshire for the last week, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I'm looking, but she's saying she talked to a lot of people, and there's a lot of Biden supporters there.
Yeah.
I don't know what New Hampshire's drinking, but that Free State project that they've got going on, they need to pick it up in the next 4 years because it's not getting the traction that it needs to. And if those
Well,
are
yeah.
Free Staters that are voting for Biden, then
They just want weed. That's it. They just want
someone
fucking
gave
weed.
them the wrong pamphlet.
Yeah.
So
The
I
wrong
mean,
pamphlet, huh?
Yeah, Trump is still, they haven't updated Florida yet. He's still behind by 61,000 votes.
That is less than 1%, though. That'll trigger an automatic recount.
Oh yeah, that's point. It's a difference of 0.6% in Florida right now.
Trump could literally lose by the number of votes that Joe Jorgensen got.
Yeah, and you know what's going to happen? Republicans are going to pull their funding of their controlled opposition.
This is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. So, yeah, I had to hop on for a couple minutes before I start. I mean, we're not starting till 7:30 tonight, but it's like
Well,
there may not be.
Green Party solo. Green Party solo. I didn't even know they were running a candidate this year.
Yeah, nobody's talked about him.
A party for socialism and liberation, as if that's not the Democratic Party. I like that they're pretending it's two different things.
Yeah, we're at 80%, and Trump is behind by 0.6. 60,000 votes, almost exactly.
Gosh,
Come on, Florida. Let's see what you do.
Florida is the one to watch.
Yeah.
I have a feeling a lot of people in Florida. I have a feeling the people that are voting for Biden this year that normally wouldn't vote, or that are normally apathetic, are people that really drank the Kool-Aid on the whole, like, if you vote for Biden, then this will all go back to normal. And
Yeah.
like that's basically the story that they've been trying to push. And like and you know it is, because every leftist on social media is telling you, like, no one's ever said that, it's like that's practically your motto. That's practically
Exactly.
your motto.
Also, you guys are going to keep rioting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys have been saying that almost daily since the polling showed that riots aren't good for the Democratic Party. And so your new motto is like, vote for us and we'll make it. Like you've literally like
You're terrorists.
blackmailed. Yeah, you've blackmailed the
You're terrorists. No, you're straight up terrorists. You're using violence to affect political change.
Yeah. Well, and I think Oh, go ahead, Ed. Sorry.
I was gonna say one of the questions I have to say though, is just in this weird 2020 world that we're living in here, what if this is the next election that gets won without Florida?
Look, it is really unlikely to win without Florida because Florida
Yeah.
again's the bellwether, and they're trying to. Ohio's going to be interesting because the thing is, I'm looking at Ohio right now. There's it's at 22%. Biden is up by like almost 30 points,
Yeah.
but it's only 300,000 votes.
Yeah, that's
That's but the thing is, the
Well,
places
here-
that have reported are all the cities. None of the outlying districts have reported yet.
I'm
I
gonna go
had a
grab
feeling
my
that it
food
was
here
gonna
quick because it just showed up. Right back with you guys.
I have a feeling that this is how this was going to go because Trump people started pulling a Hillary Clinton this year. That whole like red wave, we're going to win. Trump is going to win in a landslide. Blah blah blah. It's like, why would you say that? Why would you make it easier for people to decide not to vote when they think, well, Trump's going to win anyway?
Well,
so
here's the thing: Trump enthusiasm is still ridiculously high. People are going off the enthusiasm.
Yeah,
and
but they shouldn't
enthusiastic
be
voters.
saying, you should never say, like, literally, like, anything ever that's ever a thing that comes down to a vote ever.
Oh,
should
also, we're now
never-
in the window of Joe Jorgensen spoiling it for Trump in Florida. We're inside that window now.
Yep.
Yeah, but based on current trend lines, there's a possibility if Trump flips Florida, Ohio probably goes Trump. Though it might be tighter than we would have liked, and we would have basically. And the thing is, there's still a possibility of Trump landslide in all of this because a lot of states aren't reporting yet. We're seeing a lot of safe states report right now with only a couple of swingers.
What is the possibility that no matter who wins Florida, there's going to be a recount tonight in Florida? Or
Oh,
Florida?
guaranteed. We're below 0.5% right
Yeah,
now in
there's
Florida.
No way there's not a recount.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida's always going to have a recount either way.
Yeah,
They-
but basically Trump's behind by less than 40,000 votes. So it's not that hard for him to overtake and then expand the lead. Also, Trump is ahead in popular vote nationwide.
Oh, it's
Again,
been
though,
really good in
that's
half
a
an
lot
hour.
of. They called South Carolina. South Carolina's called it for Trump.
South Carolina's called it Trump and red.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep.
if Trump wins a popular vote, even if he loses the election, wins the election, whatever, does that mean we get four years of people not yelling at us about how we have to get rid of the Electoral College?
Probably.
So
Florida's Titan, 15,000 votes.
oh my gosh. This
Sorry,
is
25,000. My bad. 25,000. I misread the number.
Even still.
0.3%. We are getting into the razor's edge here, people. Get your diapers on. We're gonna start wetting ourselves soon enough.
oh my gosh, this is like crazy.
I
Well,
can't
it's like
believe
horror
this is a
movie.
nail
It's like
biter
horror
like
movie.
this.
The guy with the knife is sneaking up on the person right now.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, 25,000 votes. That's not much to flip at this point, even at 80% reporting.
But it's only the smaller cities.
Trump
right?
just flipped it. He's up by 8,000 votes. It is tight, so it can go back at a moment's notice. But the only districts that have not reported at all are all Panhandle. All of them are Panhandle.
This is crazy. Okay. Well, tonight's gonna be fun.
It is.
Look, and that was a
Or
shift of
not.
1% of reporting. That's a shift of 1% reporting. So
That's crazy.
if the trend continues, Trump expands his lead, probably gets a point to 1.5 points in Florida. That's my estimation if he takes it. It's 1 to 1.5 outside of the margin of a recount.
Oh my gosh.
But it's point run out, so it could flip the other way. But again, Trump has
Yeah.
been accelerating so far. Georgia keeps bouncing back and forth. He's behind by 13,000 votes there. But again, it's the cities that are reporting right now mainly
Yeah.
in Florida and Georgia.
You're
it's
watching
still
what,
early.
PolitiFact or? I'm
No,
watching
Google.
this.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
watching-
just on the Google front page for that too.
Yeah.
Oh my, the Associated Press. I'm just looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe this. This is like,
Technically, Trump is down in West Virginia right now as well, but they called it. I think it's because they know the trends.
Or like I said, at the point when they first called it, I said maybe he just has a mountain mama
My
there.
God. They still are calling Virginia for Biden, but he is way down. Trump is up by almost 20 points.
Yeah, do you think that the Beltway is actually going to let Trump win?
no. And I actually am really worried about Pennsylvania too, even though, like, I know Trump's been hitting it hard, but just
Yeah.
everything I've been seeing, I think I actually think that that's the state that we might actually see, like, lawyering
Biden,
lawsuits.
Biden crawl it back through a combination of he isn't as hated. Trump's expanding his lead. He's at almost 20,000 votes ahead in Florida.
Alabama got
18,000.
called.
What was that?
Alabama got called.
At 0%, but who was not expecting that?
Well,
Alabama.
that tells me something about what the Panhandle might do too. So keep that.
Yeah,
in
because
Mississippi,
they're basically cousins with Alabama.
West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, South Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, Oklahoma all went red. 55 to 80. Where did we get 85 from? Illinois. Yeah, I figured that was
Oklahoma's also being called for Trump, but that was expected. They're North Texas.
Yep, and all the New England states are starting to pour in, and
Look, what I would find hilarious is they prematurely called Virginia, and it flips to Trump out of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't know. I still, like, everybody looks
Yeah.
at Florida. I'm still waiting for
Yeah.
Iowa. Like, that's kind of,
Yeah. Iowa, Trump was ahead in the last polls, actually, so that's a good sign for Iowa. But God, that Trump is only up by 15,000 votes in Florida.
my
It is a
polling
knife's
results won't
edge.
update.
What was that?
My polling results won't update. Here we go. I'm
Oh, Texas is doing the initial call-in. Oof, that is tight, 0.2%. But the only place currently reporting is Fort Worth, Texas, which went
So-
Trump. So, yeah, Texas is likely sticking with the Trumpster.
Oh my gosh. This could go.
Spartan says move to Florida if you want your vote to matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what though? I want
Mississippi called for Trump as well.
my vote might matter in Florida, but my life wouldn't. I'm good, Florida. Like,
Florida man.
I mean, my husband is Jewish, so I think by law we have to retire to Boca Raton. I'm not really sure, and
Trump is expanding his lead. He's at 28,000 ahead in Florida at 0.3%. Enough for automatic recount, though. But if the acceleration continues. Oh, Houston just called in, so Texas is technically blue for the moment.
We're gonna flip it. We're gonna flip Texas. Go.
oh my god, did you guys see my map this morning?
Yes.
What was it?
It was just I made a map like everybody else,
Yeah.
except I put like emojis and flames, and then Texas had just beer and American flags all over it with like Austin cussing. So like,
Pretty much, yeah. Basically, Houston's also another blue holdout in Texas. Basically, the blue dots in Texas are Houston, Austin, and San Antonio, and I think Dallas. But weirdly enough, Fort Worth went Republican. So there's going to be 3 to 4 blue dots in Texas. Plus, there's that plus El Paso. But Texas is likely to go to Trump. Sure, right now it's in favor of Biden, but we're talking only Fort Worth and Houston have declared so far. Once you start getting all the other counties, Texas swings red fast.
I think no matter what, I think no matter what we do,
Oh, God.
see
Well, actually, have you guys heard the rumors that the outlier might be Nevada? That it might go Trump?
my sister lives in Las Vegas, and she's saying there is a lot of support
For Trump or Biden?
Yeah, Harvey was
Because
saying
here's the
that too, and
reason
she
why.
lived there
Normally
forever.
Nevada goes to the Democrats because the Democrats are fine with the gambling more than the Republicans are. But Nevada did lockdowns.
Yeah.
And who's the only party saying, "Hey, we're not going to lock you down"?
Yeah, Nevada does not. Nevada likes to do what Nevada wants to do. So
Trump
I
has expanded lead in Florida to 33,000 votes, still 0.3% ahead. So it's still a tight race there.
I
But
have
Trump,
to say,
Oh.
I do think the people calling California saying it's going to flip red, I think it's a little bit delusional being here. Obviously, my city, there's a lot of Trump.
Yeah.
I've seen one or two. Trump things
I wouldn't be
happening.
surprised if a couple of congressmen get flipped in California to
Oh
Republicans.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I think that they're going to get
Yeah.
flipped. I think there's going to be a lot of
Yeah.
people that don't admit that they're done, and
Yeah.
and I'm not sure how Newsom's going to do, because Newsom decided to put his kids back in public or back in private school.
And the private schools aren't held to his mandates.
No, and Gavin Newsom also kept his winery open this whole time when he shut down.
Trump is ahead by over 50,000 votes in Florida, people.
Oh my gosh.
0.5. Oh God.
Well,
Damn
let's
it, I'm
hope
feeling the
that
cope.
Florida's
I'm feeling the
not
cope
the
come on
outlier.
in me. I'm feeling the cope come on in me. And oh, wait. I hear Cenk Uger's voice. He's yelling at Florida right now.
Google it.
The water buffalo is angry.
Oh gosh.
That is the only reason that I'm going to be flipping over to DLive exclusive after I sit down and have some dinner, is because I want to see those tiers if it goes that way. And I'll accept the tiers of my own if it goes the other way. But still,
Well, yeah. Remember, on the back of my helmet, Psalm 34:18, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted.
we're going to flip Texas though.
No, the thing is, the only places that have reported is Houston and Fort Worth. Fort Worth is kind of a lean Republican. Think of it like Orange County about 10, 15 years ago in California. Kind of a very big business area. But it's not super populated. So,
Okay, so 11% Georgia's back to Trump.
yeah. It's going to ping pong because a lot of the big cities reported early, like Atlanta, Savannah. Now you got the outlying counties.
Well, and also keep in mind with Georgia.
Oh, Trump's ahead by 66,000 in Florida. He's at 0.7%. He's expanding his lead.
With Georgia, a lot of the movie industry is moving there too. So that is a big part of the reason that's going to start flip flopping back and forth. Because the Hollywood actors-
remember,
Well, we're gonna see, because the movie industry, a lot of actors have said they won't work in Georgia because of its abortion laws.
Yeah.
So it's going back and forth, because we actually talked about moving there.
Yeah.
And
Well, not only that, but the thing is, they don't carry the camera people. They don't bring a lot of the support staff. That's going to be picked up in Georgia. So it's not going to really
Yeah.
flip too many votes.
it is. They really like to hire. They really try and hire local over there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my husband's done a couple movies over there, and like when he did gosh darn it, I don't know what it's called. It was Wettest County, the one with Shia LaBeouf. I don't know what. Lawless. He did that movie over there, and a lot of the guys that worked on the movie were from there. So they like to use their own guys, but that's the thing. A lot of people from LA will move there, except the rate is way different, and even with the cost of housing difference, I don't know.
So wait,
So-
your old boy worked with the actual cannibal?
What?
Your old boy worked with an actual
Apparently,
cannibal?
the Grim Reaper is returning to the Senate. Do you know who Chank's referring to?
No. I'm not watching the stream.
No,
Because I would have to
He looks
transmit it
sweaty.
through the audio.
He looks
and,
despaired and sweaty already.
I can't watch him. He tried to run in our district this.
Yeah.
I
in the
remember that.
special election. And it was like I like had tweeted every time I tweeted at him, it got a ton of response, and he never responded. And I was like, I know you see this, because I'm not like, I mean, yes, like I'm kind of in that Twitter troll category sometimes, but like I have a lot of followers and I get a lot of engagement, and I know that he saw my tweets. So I'm like, come on, Sank, like let's have this conversation with somebody that actually lives here. Because he responded to other people, but nobody that lived in, Santa Clarita area at all.
Ohio's still a pretty nasty hill for Trump to climb, for 370,000 votes behind. But
Yeah.
again, it's a lot of the city counties reporting right now. So They're at 40% right now. So
I'll be right back. I'm gonna put
Yeah.
something in the
no problem.
put pizza in the oven.
Trump has expanded his lead to 0.8. He's about just under 80,000 votes ahead in Florida. So Trump's lead is expanding in Florida.
Florida man.
So yeah, Trump is at 50% of Florida. At least that's what they're reporting on Google. This has been your quarter-minute report.
I mean, it's kind of almost, it is intoxicating to watch this. I almost don't want to cut to get away from YouTube, but I know I
Holy
have to.
crap! Trump is winning Flint, Michigan.
No way.
It's currently leaning red. Oh my god! Didn't you hear that? Like one of the city councilors endorsed Trump in Flint.
Yeah, and he got
black
fucking
guy.
excoriated for her.
A black guy too. So, yeah. So, early results from Pennsylvania. Ooh, 1%, 80% in favor of Biden, but we're only talking about 60,000 votes. So,
Pennsylvania is going to be the one to watch. I
Florida
know that.
lead expanding. Trump at 1.5% lead at 85% reporting.
He is outside of automatic recount territory.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like the Panhandle woke up. That's what's boosting him right now.
I think he could
Georgia's going back and forth. Virginia, Trump is still way ahead, but they're only at 20%, 21%. So Ohio, I'm worried about. It's at 40%, but again, it's a lot of the big stuff that's currently going. And Michigan is also way in favor, but we're talking 1% here. Yeah, about 150,000. So Trump is ahead by 1.6 in Florida. His lead is expanding. If he can get over a point, if they're about 95, 96% reporting and Trump's ahead by a point and a half or 2 points, he's got Florida. He's got it locked in. It's too much of a lead for them to surmount. Jacksonville is blue, and I don't know where Duval is. Cincinnati flipped red? Yeah, Cincinnati flipped red. Trump is also still ahead in the popular vote by 1.3%. Again, though, we haven't had California or New York wake up.
Yeah. Oh, New York goes blue. What a surprise. It hasn't, but yeah, I just know that's what it's going to be.
Yeah. No, somehow out of fucking nowhere, Trump wins New York, and we all just look at it just dumbfounded going, what?
Well, I mean, with Rochester, too, that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And that is something to watch for, is
Yeah.
the Rochester-Albany vote. Because those are not insignificant cities. And Rochester had all of its police force go. I don't know if they can muster up enough force to shake out New York City, but I bet you they get close.
Yeah. Trump is ahead still by 1.6, about 100. Yeah, 100. Trump is ahead about 160,000 votes in Florida, so he's reversed the stubborn lead Biden had. Yeah, that's what we're seeing right now, Woodchuck. Cleveland area around that's going blue. Cincinnati went red. Columbus, Toledo, and Dayton are all going blue as well, but a lot of the outlying counties are going red.
And I got to make sure that everybody in here has the DLive link. I know most of them are in there, but I know like watching trains go by doesn't have the deal connected. All right, we're back.
I'm actually gonna hop off, so I'll
See
see
ya.
you guys later.
Okay,
Bye.
take care.
Bye. Yeah.
And I was in the middle of getting the DLive link up here for you guys in the live chat when Spectrum gave me the little bounce that they love to give me here. So let me get that up there for you, because in about 15 minutes we're going to drop the stream. I'm going to go eat this taco salad I just got from Qtoba. That smells delicious. I can smell it from here. And we're going to come back, but we're going to come back with no YouTube. Because once I start watching Cenk Uygur, I can smell it from here.
Yep.
First off, let me stop
Final
from hearing myself.
update. Final update on Florida though before we go. Trump has expanded his lead to 1.6% outside of the recounts, and he's ahead by 170,000 votes roughly.
Mhm.
So current trends show Trump taking Florida.
All right, Woodchuck, watching trains go by. Who else is in here on the YouTube side? Use that link, the DLive link that I just put up in the chat, because when we come back, I am not going to be coming back to YouTube because we're going to be watching the big cable networks and seeing what we have going on with that. So make sure you go and check them out. That's going to be DLive exclusive, because as soon as I turn the Young Turds on, Wojcicki's going to bump me, I promise you. So that's going to be something there. So we'll be watching for the next 14 minutes. Then we'll pop off and I'll eat this salad. And then we will pop back on. Probably you'll be back, right, Seawell?
Oh, yeah. I just wrote into the DLive chat with my tiger.
Neat. Oh, that's right. You are on DLive too.
Yep.
Are you modded? No.
Probably not.
Well, we're going to change that.
Don't you dare. I already have to rein in the Twitch guys. I ain't doing the DLive guys too. I see what Ron gets up to sometimes.
Add moderator. Success. North Carolina swung hard red.
Oh, yeah. We're at 1% reporting, though, so we're still early in the game.
Plus, remember, they can still grab ballots for 9 more days.
Yeah. But the problem is, if they don't segregate those, they could lose all their mail-in ballots in a court challenge.
I think he's got it, dude. 100,000 votes over.
In where?
Florida.
Yeah, 175,000 now, roughly. So he's got a comfortable lead there. We'll probably see a similar replication in Ohio. Virginia might swing Trump as well, because Biden is way down at 25%. Obviously, certain big counties haven't been fully counted yet, but he's way ahead in that state. Yeah, Panhandle is what saved Trump in this case. I'm going to say this: the Panhandle of Florida saved Florida. the purebred Florida man.
Well, and that was kind of what I was anticipating too, because as soon as I saw Alabama get called, I'm like, yeah, this is going to go for Florida, because all the rest of those counties that we still have to wait for to see who's going to lean which way or that way, the ones that haven't reported yet.
What we might see, though, is we might see a split. There's a possibility Ohio goes Biden.
I don't know about that. Obviously, we'll see off that, but at 44%. Well, no, because I mean, keep in mind what we saw out of Florida, because we were at 75%, and then it came and swung back hard again.
Yeah. Let's see, what's the difference in vote count? 300,000 votes. Sorry, 320,000 votes in Biden's favor right now. But again, Trump is still ahead the popular vote. God, imagine if he gets both. I think Trump's lead is also stabilizing in Georgia, so he's probably going to. Trump is probably going to grab the Sun Belt, minus maybe Arizona.
And he's 1 million votes ahead in the popular vote too, which, like I said, California is going to erase all of that instantly.
Yeah. Yep.
But that is something that I want to see. I mean, I would love to see Trump take the popular vote at this point, because I want to see what the interstate compact does.
Well, it doesn't go into effect until they had 270 votes. Everyone keeps forgetting that. It's the sneaky little fucking way they're trying to get it through. It doesn't actually go into effect until until 270 votes sign up for it. And the second that happens, watch how quickly people challenge that in courts, claiming vote suppression.
Well, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. But
and it's going to get shot down by the Supreme Court. Going, no, this is clear-cut voter suppression. Why does a vote in California have any bearing on a vote in Idaho?
Why, in fact, does a vote in California have any bearing in Ohio? Why
Idaho.
is that? Why does that happen?
Yeah. Trump is ahead still by about 170,000. It's kind of wavering a little bit, so I think the acceleration has stopped. So hopefully Trump doesn't decelerate or Biden doesn't accelerate. But again, the areas that are voting Trump right now that they're still counting, it's the Panhandle that's woken up. So again, Florida may have been saved by the fucking Panhandle. John's gonna love that.
Looks like I've got a bunch of people pouring in over on the DLive side too. Thank you.
Yep, all 7 of us, including your mom. Breaking news. We were not expecting this. Joe Biden gets Illinois.
I've known that. He got that for a while ago.
Yeah, breaking news. I thought I was going to swing Trump, with Mayor Beetlejuice.
Well, and they're out in the west suburbs too. They're getting it out by where I live. I
Yeah.
can see that. Is it? No, the county with Rockford in it hasn't called yet, but I see where Streamwood, Elgin, and whatnot. That's that county is one of them that's starting to lean in that they're starting to count. But
Kansas
No.
is currently blue, but again, they're at 30%. But Kansas City vote is swinging it. Oh, Texas is back to Trump.
But
Yep, other
they're
counties
gonna
are
turn it
waking
blue,
up.
though.
Texas is back to Trump. I mean, it's still pretty tight, but Trump. Oh, never mind. It just updated again. Another blue county woke up. Yeah, Houston, I think.
But they're gonna flip it blue. They're gonna make Texas blue. Don't you know?
Texas is not going to swing blue anytime soon. It's gotten tighter than it should, but
Hey, you shut your whore mouth. Every Hollywood celebrity has told me that Texas is turning blue this year.
Trump is ahead by 3 points in Florida. Wait, did they revert? Hold on. Oh, wait, never mind. System glitched on me. Trump's ahead by 1.5%. My bad. I must have been looking at a different state. Or system must have been glitched on me. Because it said 77% reporting Trump was ahead by 3 points.
I mean, how much was it the same cat?
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Well,
New York's
deja
not
vu,
released anything.
which is surprising.
Yeah.
Because I thought for sure they would have said that.
Trump's currently ahead in Michigan. Again, he's getting the Detroit suburbs, Flint, and one of the smaller counties on one of the lakes.
Chilaga is sad for his state. Chilaga, as we all remember, is Miami 1984, who is now Ahmad over on the D-Live side.
Is he in Florida?
No, he's actually Chicagoland area. I know where he is, but I'm not going to say it.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Trains go by. Pennsylvania was a long shot, but it's one of those things that it's first 4%, so it could swing the other way, but it's unlikely.
So I got Chilaga good this morning too. By the way,
Yeah.
I got him real good over in the contemporary chat.
Mhm.
I was talking about I was talking about riots and what happens with riots and where people win and they still all go out and riot. And I said, you know what, if the Bruins win the Stanley Cup, they riot and they destroy Boston. If the Red Sox win the World Series, they riot and destroy Boston.
Indiana. Yep.
If the Blackhawks win, they riot and destroy Chicago. And I mean, if the Bears win the Super Bowl, then the player turns off his Xbox and he goes back to bed.
Yeah, exactly.
You knew where I was going with that.
I watched it.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You were there this morning.
Yeah.
I got him. That's an old joke, but it's still funny.
They're calling Alabama, Mississippi for Trump. Makes sense. Georgia's is definitely leaning harder towards Trump now. Almost 10 points.
Yeah, but
Over
they're
10
so
points.
slow on the reporting.
Yeah, 18%, so that can change. 1.6 ahead for Trump. Again, about 160,000 votes. Tighter than I would have liked.
The popular vote is where I'm paying attention to because that's the one I think is going to be what puts it in play for this election cycle and determines how we do things coming up through the next few election cycles.
Yeah.
Especially with the interstate compact, because if for whatever
Well,
reason,
the thing is, if the interstate compact goes into effect and it doesn't get shot down in the Supreme Court, which it probably will, what will probably happen will surprise the Democrats when suddenly a bunch of areas of California and New York that don't normally vote suddenly start voting in large numbers for Republicans. And then suddenly they realize, oh, crap, this was a bad idea.
Well, my big one for the interstate compact, and this is kind of why I'm watching this race so closely and seeing what this particular race does, is the fact that I want to see if, and I believe this is what's going to happen with it, if Trump wins the popular vote this election, I think all the interstate compact states that have already signed on are going to come up and
Sign off.
throw the
really
brakes
quick.
on and say, abort, abort, abort.
Yeah,
and
'cause
not our
they
babies.
Yeah, they realize that they can flip quick.
And there is a lot of turnout. I mean, like I said, I went into my polling place. I've never waited in line in there, and I didn't wait in line today. I've never seen a line where I live because my town is small. And you know what? Once again, I got it at the right time. I didn't wait in line today. But by the time I got through the line and through and did everything else,
Trump
the
is
sign and
almost
vote.
ahead by 200,000 votes in Florida, about 190,000 currently. He's ahead by 1.8%. So I think there's going to be some wobble, but I think it's going to maintain for the rest of it at this.
Do you see the color that Michigan is tinged right now?
Yeah, Trump's getting 60%, but again, and the thing is that he's got Grand Rapids, he's got a county next to Lansing, he's got Flint, Michigan of all places. Detroit is probably going to cause a swing the other way, but it's possible that maybe Michigan is another upset and goes Trump.
What is
Trump is
Watching
ahead
Trains
by
Go By
two-
has a question here for us. What is the interstate compact? I know it has something to do with agreements between states, but I don't know over what. So the interstate compact is basically a way to bypass the electoral college. What they
With
did,
the Electoral College.
what they did was, it's 270 votes to win is the magic number that you have to get to. So the interstate compact says they were trying to get votes or enough states with to make 270 votes to sign on. And the states in the interstate compact will automatically turn their electors to whoever wins the popular vote nationally, basically making a 270 vote wall for it. It nullifies the electoral college contractually.
Using the Electoral College, because the electors are under the Constitution says that it's however the state wishes to do it. Theoretically, if a state wants to elect not a monarch but some sort of hereditary leader to decide the president, that state has that right. Like a member of this family decides where the electors go. They have that right if they wanted to, or the governor has the power to decide. But they generally went with a kind of interstate popular vote method. Sorry, intrastate within the state popular method vote, kind of as almost like a poll.
Yep. But yeah, basically it's turning the electoral college over to the winner of the national popular vote.
Yeah.
Is what they're trying to do with it. And they're actually very close to 270 votes right now, which I'm a little bit worried about to see. But once again, going
If
along
Trump wins
with
popular vote, they will shit their pants and probably cancel it in several of those states.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Ron says, I was not a big Rand supporter in the past. I felt he did not measure up next to his dad, but I've decided that we need him to put spending in check. Rand 2024.
I would love to see Rand be the one that Trump kind of anoints as his replacement, because that would lock in the Libertarian vote. That year, I doubt the Libertarian parties would run a serious candidate.
Well, I mean, even Brian Nichols came on and said that, yeah, he would go up and vote for Rand unopposed if he ran for the Republican Party, unless Amash ran for Libertarian for presidency.
Is Amash really a Libertarian?
He's independent right now, and I believe he is.
Yeah.
Watching Trains Go By said, did that have to pass Congress? That's
No, it's
actually
within
coming
each
into question
state.
right now.
Yeah.
Whether or not that does have to, because that would be interstate commerce. So I think technically Congress would have a say in that.
No, Congress doesn't, because I think under the Constitution, the electors are decided by the state themselves. The Congress has very little power, and the thing is, Jay, you know how they've bent. Do you really want them to bend interstate commerce again to give the federal government more power? So,
But as an agreement between the states, it does have to be brokered by Congress, I would think, based on Article 1. I would think that that's, in order to broker it, would have to go through that.
So
And the
that
Supreme
is
Court
actually a
would weigh in.
constitutional challenge saying, hey, federal government hasn't said anything on this. So that would at least give the Supreme Court the ability to weigh in at a national level.
Long story short, I don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
All right.
Trump is ahead by what is that? That's 2.2% in Florida, roughly 231,000 votes. Trump's probably got Florida.
I am going to throw the Twitch link in to the chat because I'm going to do the next broadcast. I'm going to do that on Twitch as well.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be YouTube I'm dumping because I want to make sure Watching Trains Go By can get in here.
Yeah.
So let's get that copied.
Yeah.
Before we get
Don't
rid
worry,
of this,
Trains
and then
Go
I'm going
By.
to pop off for a little
We got
bit
your
here.
back, man. We got your back, Trains Go By, because we need somebody to run the trains for us.
All right.
Trump has expanded his lead even more. He's about 337,000 votes ahead in Florida.
1.2% up in the popular vote, too. Who got called? Looks like another red state went.
Yeah.
But I don't see which one it was. Arkansas.
Arkansas. Missouri is going Trump too, though again early voting.
All right, but we are going to cut the stream here temporarily. I'm going to go eat this taco salad. We'll be back here in approximately 1/2 of an hour with a lot more results coming in and probably a lot more guests as well. So we will not be coming back to YouTube when I come back. So hopefully you can join us for the rest of the night as we watch more and more states pour in, and hopefully we have at least an idea of what's going to happen as we move along here. It looks like it's going to be a nail biter.
In certain states, yeah.
Biden
Florida
is up in the Electoral College, but Trump is up in the popular vote right now. So, and this, we could be looking at a completely different map by the time we come back here. And I'm guessing Sewell is going to come back. John said he's going to come back. RRC said he's going to come back. I don't know if Britt's going to come back because she's going to be doing her own thing. So we've got some other guests that are possibly going to be chiming in as well. So hopefully you guys will come back and hang out with us once again. We will see you in just a bit. Have a good night. If we don't see you then, take care. Oops, I got.
And remember, gentlemen, get your Mitch 2000 helmets out. It's going to be a